Hello and welcome to another episode of the Late Night Serial Podcast. This is episode 11. I had to look that up because we've gone past 10 now. It's like when
Yeah.
you have a birthday and you get to a certain age and then you just forget how old you are now.
You think he's rather one above or one below?
Exactly.
You're
It's
not
kinda
quite
nice
sure.
when
You go,
it's nice when it's below, but it
Yeah.
really is, isn't it?
You
I,
don't get away.
I want to say I'm going to be 40 for the rest of my life now. But until
Yeah,
someone says,
yeah.
"Steve, you're
I'd just
50."
go, I'm 40 something.
I won't notice it until I'm 50, and then that feels weird,
Yeah.
We'll still be doing this,
Yeah.
eating our cereal. What cereal have you got today?
Right, so nothing new. But it's the
Good. We're
fruit.
learning.
The fruit because I ain't got any new ones, that's why. I've been told off. He says you've got to eat the cereals in that cupboard before you get any new ones. And
That
I've
makes
literally
sense,
got a
doesn't it?
section in the
It makes
kitchen for the
sense.
cereals. I'm not addicted to buying new cereals. But it's the fruit Fruit Loopy ones.
Fruit Loop ones. I think. What do they taste like? I can't remember what you were saying. What they were like?
They're like maybe like blueberry and
Oh, I see. Yeah.
and like vanilla and stuff.
I like that.
Yeah, and what I've done is to make sure I don't get
go on.
my cereal too soggy. I'm a bit posh, so I just basically
Look at that
see a little bit of milk.
This is the one that looks like it's the thing in your washing machine we were saying last time.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's right. Well, that'd be dangerous using that.
So I've got. Can you guess what these?
Yep.
You get the little mini boxes. I've got like one of the last ones. I don't know. Ones I kind of eat last. What is it? It looks like.
I should know that one. I do recognise one of them.
I can't remember the name. To be honest, they're like Rice Krispie shapes or something.
Yeah, that's it. Rice Krispie something, isn't it?
They're like little fellas. Like it's really scary.
You're eating them, you get
Oh no.
Yeah. What is it with us as British eating like weird things like that? Like jelly babies. You literally get biting the heads off the jelly babies and things like that.
That's a good point. Did they have that in America? Did they have like sweets or anything like that which are humanoid?
The jelly babies, no, because when I went over there to work, I took some jelly babies over there because I don't think they had them, and I gave them out in the office, and they were like looking at me going, "Oh, what, jelly babies? What, they little babies?" And they suddenly made me think, yeah, it's a bit weirdly gross, isn't it? But they loved them when they tried them. They loved them, but they were really weird about it. Right?
The weird thing about jelly babies, though, is that they don't even look like babies because they're really tall.
No, they don't.
Like Slender Man babies, aren't they? Oh, it's really. I've never thought about that. They're called jelly babies, but they're really tall.
Covered in powder and stuff.
Yeah,
I know them for years, but
no. Well, we get the Haribo ones. Like, we say that Linda gets them and eats them in about 5 seconds because she's addicted to them.
That's one of them things because they're very Moorish and you just go down.
We had a bag of Fantastics like recently. I just have it in 3 seconds. He's just like, this is so good.
If you're watching something, it's that's why cereal is great to watch with a film because you can keep on shoving.
It's not as loud as popcorn. Do you know what I mean? It's not like you should. So it says cereal in the cinema. Maybe not like Rice Krispies, not like that Snap Crackles and Pops, but just a kind of not anything kind of popcorny. What's it really? Is there any loud cereal? It is anything that's crunchy, no cornflakes. No, throw them out the window. No, them.
Yeah, Frosties. Well, unless you leave them a little while.
If you leave them a bit soggy, so maybe until you can't have them yet. They put them in a little glass case, so no you're allowed to have them. Got to wait until it gets soggy.
But we've got a bit of milk left. I ain't one of them people where they slurp it up out the bowl. Imagine seeing it to someone like.
Yeah, we don't want that in the cinema. That's horrible. Do you know what? We were at the cinema the other day, and we will get into the podcast in a second. But I wanted to talk about this. We went to see the Bob Dylan film, which was all right. And but there was a guy in the back corner on his own, and halfway through the cinema, he fell asleep and snored like crazy.
Oh no!
It was oh my god! We were like, this like film where Bob Dylan's playing a lovely song, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's a lovely performance." I mean, it is. Sound like a ghost.
You know what you done? Got 2 bits of popcorn and popped him up his nose.
We could have done that. Lynn's actually went up and said, "Excuse me, you're snoring," and he got really embarrassed and like shuffled out of the cinema. Like a proper when you can tell he's embarrassed because he's not like put his coat on properly. It's like half on.
Oh yeah. He put one arm on. He can't find the other arm. No, I'll go that.
Don't care. It's got to get out. And I was like, I reckon he's probably one of those people who's bought one of those year-round tickets. And
it doesn't matter. It's just something to go and see.
Fall asleep in the cinema. It's weird. But anyway, what have you been playing over the last couple of weeks?
I know you took the mickey out of me on stream the other day. You went, all it's going to be is Alien versus Predator.
But of course not. It's going to be something completely different today, isn't it?
Well,
At least it's not Tomb Raider
as well. Well, I did actually. I did most of Alien vs Predator until we got ridiculous. I ended up using cheats in the end.
Did you really?
Yeah, because
I missed that.
it's so unfair. When you save, everything respawns and all that lot, and you soft lock yourself.
Yeah.
And I got to a bit that I couldn't get out of it, and but putting the cheat code in was a mission on itself. On the controller, you had to press select and then I forgot what the buttons is now. Select and pause. And then option and pause. Then you had to press 1, 2, 3, 4 at the same time. It's all with 2 hands, and you were like this. And then you had to quickly press the A, B, C, and then a load of numbers and some other. It was like I literally had to hold the controller like this doing the cheat, and it was a dev cheat. And basically,
I'm gonna say dev cheat. It's got to be in it.
Yeah, that's why, because it's not like something you'd accidentally do.
Yeah.
But it basically it was good and bad. It kind of broke the game because you could do one that says change the previous level, meaning it made you in an invisible lift to the next floor. You'd hear the lift going, but you'd basically just teleport to the next floor up.
That's kind of cool.
Which is good until I used the god cheat bit just to get through a certain section. Realised I had no health, and when I went to load the game save, instantly dead.
Oh.
And I had no other saves because I overwrit it.
No.
I couldn't even go back to it. So what we end up doing is
the game.
And what I end up doing is we only get to Queen, which was ridiculous because the Queen looked brilliant.
Yeah.
But you go into the room and there are eggs everywhere, just like in the film. In Aliens, basically. Yeah. But they were everywhere, and they all had facehuggers in them. So you couldn't move too far in the room, because but the thing is, because I had the God mode on, I kept getting facehuggers on my face, and they won't go away for about a minute. So I couldn't see anything. And one went down, and another jumped up, and I went, it's not worth this cheat, But we eventually took it down, and once you've done that, that's not the end of the game. You then got to go back to level 4, go to the terminal, set a self-destruct on there, which would be a new option after you kill the Queen. Then you've got 2 minutes to get out. Not 10 minutes like in the movies, no, 2 minutes. And you've got to get to the second floor, I think it was, or one other floor. And then you go into an airlock pod, and that's the end of the game. The problem was, it's not 2 minutes. 2 minutes, seconds. It was really fast.
Yeah,
like it was going.
I hate time.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it freaked me out. And the thing is, because it gets so mazy in the game, and they're trying to go right. I'm trying to plan my route out. Right, I spent top 5 minutes going right. Go left out of here and go straight down. So that all went all right. Went to the lift. Went to the floor to kind of get to the floor I needed, and it said lift is jammed.
Oh, that sounds fun.
And I was just like, should we see looking on YouTube, see how it ends?
Oh my god!
So we end up doing that because I put 6 days into it. Thing is, though, I did enjoy my time on it. It is actually a really fun game.
Yeah, because I have a couple questions. One straight away, just before we go into that bit. What was the Queen fight like? Is it good? Because you just see normal size aliens from what I saw.
It's just literally a big size like the Queen coming towards you.
2-dimensional, really.
Yeah, I think it's quite clever. It's like in Doom, if you try and walk around an enemy and you can't, they're kind of like cardboard cutout. You're doing this. I'll look around the back, you can't. Basically, same with the Queen. I thought, I wonder if when the Queen's dead, you can walk around it. And as I went to the Queen, it just kept staying at the front as you walking around. It's like a cardboard cutout, and yeah. So unfortunately, she looked good. She didn't really spit anything out or anything. She sounded brilliant, the Queen sound. That was good. And it wasn't really much of a fight because the hardest bit about it was you couldn't run around in the area too much because the eggs kept on hatching.
Yeah.
So you had to shoot some of them and then attack the Queen.
Yeah.
But then I had the smart gun out, so I kind of just mowed it down. And then she got stuck behind an egg, and I couldn't shoot her, and she couldn't get me. And I thought, it's taking a long time to die. It's like, no, because I was in front of a bit that couldn't be destroyed.
That's the bit you kind of look forward to. The other question is, because this is a game that we were talking about last time, when we wanted the Jaguar, we wanted to play on a Jaguar as a kid, Alien vs. Predator. That was the game we wanted to play, because we were all into those movies.
That was the one.
Was it or is it a novelty of the time because it was the game we wanted to play?
Yeah, I think because it graphically, it's even though the frame rate's not great, the graphically for its time is really impressive. This came out around the same time as Doom. So when you look at the graphics on Doom, you look at graphics like if you look at the people that are dead on the floor, they look like photorealistic on there, and the way the guns work, and like so there's a couple of advanced bits in it. Again, it screenshots make it look better than it is.
Yeah,
But but then still I did really enjoy it. I just got bored of getting lost constantly, and I'm not very good with maps. You would hate it.
I can't stand
it's
that.
worse than Doom.
Because I was thinking, oh, isn't this something like this, like where the kind of remake? But I think Alien Trilogy kind of took over the mantle of that kind of game.
Basically, Alien Trilogy is a better version of that, really. There was an interesting bit. I'll do the last bit because I'm talking way too much about it. But I'll just say the last bit was I tried out the Predator and the Alien. They were half baked. They were. They really wasn't much effort in them. Although the Alien was quite clever. You couldn't replenish your health, but what you did do, you if you killed the soldiers in a certain way, you cocooned them. And you basically made... So do you know, just quickly, do you know in the first Alien film, they cut a bit with Dallas, the captain, and basically he was becoming an egg. So the original stories, there isn't a queen. They become a cocoon from the people. Basically, they were using that lore in it. So the idea was you kill one of the soldiers by a certain way, and then you walk over him, and it makes like this chomping noise and all this. And then you have to wait in a corner, and you see this cocoon develop into another alien, and once it's like it looks like a mini version of you, if you get killed you respawn as at that cocoon.
Wow, that's such a cool idea.
That was really interesting.
Wow.
And you could do 3 of them. The problem was you had to make sure that you were further in the level before you did it in a certain way, because if you did it all at the beginning of the level, all 3, you can't replace them, and if you get killed, it's going to spawn you right back at the beginning of the level.
How did this happen then? Because this was after Aliens.
That I don't. Yeah, because Aliens was 88, wasn't it? Like, and this is 90. Oh, I don't know,
90s, yeah.
Or something. 90.
So why are they taking the lore from Alien?
Some reason, yeah. Maybe they were developing it during. I don't know. Actually, I've no idea.
But you know what? There was a whole story that they were going to do a spin-off of Aliens going into a new story, wasn't it? Like years ago, there was going to be a film. But it makes you think. Imagine if there was a story that led off from Alien, where they took that concept instead of an alien.
Yeah, because it would have been so different.
That'd be different, but interesting.
That was good, and the Predator was just trying to get to a ship. With him, you could get health packs, but you kept it on your arm. So you remember when in both 1 and 2, where he sort of heals himself.
Yeah,
and he puts like things on his arm and stuff like that.
Cool.
On his wounds. He basically sort of does that really. But the weapons are laughable. You've got a big spear. You think brilliant. I know you can lob the spear and you impale them or something like that. It looks like you've got a little what do you call it? A cattle prod, and it just goes.
Oh no!
It's silly.
Q-tip.
It's silly. But the slashing with the arm was good, and then you had the shoulder cannon just fired out. You didn't see the shoulder cannon. It just fired out giant blue like.
You can go invisible though. Can you go invisible and it can?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it changes the perspective a bit, where it makes them look more pixelated to kind of be that sort of view. And the sound was good, really good on it. Yeah. But because you had to be close quarters and in the frisbee as well, and you could only get those by working your way through the level. You don't start with them.
Yeah.
But we tried them out. But their games are not very long. But they concentrated on Marines and Alien and the Predator part. They just went, oh, I guess you want to play as them as well. And here's a little bit.
If you had to pick one of them, and obviously he's not the Predator, which one would you pick as the best experience?
To be honest, it's probably the Marines, because you've got the guns and you do unlock as well, which I didn't get when I was playing it normally. You unlock the motion detector.
Oh, motion sensor thing, yeah.
And then it made it more scary again.
Did that the sound? Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So that made it more scary. So that was best. But the Alien was really interesting with the whole cocoon thing. That was really good. But
I
yeah,
can't wait
so
to the
overall,
Alien
loved it.
Isolation
But,
2. Alien Isolation 2 is a thing, isn't it? It's in the works, which is probably going to be
yeah.
in about 5 years, isn't it? 'Cause he just announced it. And
Yeah, because
so,
it took a long time to make the other one, but
so.
then I still need to finish that one. So it gives me some
Oh, you've
time.
never finished it?
No, I'm too
Oh,
scared
man, you
of it.
should
I
play
find it a
that.
very scary game.
Just play it on stream. Just get a finish on stream or something
No,
this
because they make it
October.
worse. They make me jump and stuff. I don't want
So
that.
good, though. It's so good. Okay, what else did you play?
And then the other thing, I've been playing Wolfenstein 3D. It's
Oh,
another
yeah.
first-person shooter,
Yeah.
but it's on. It's the problem. The funny thing is, going from Aim vs Predator, which is quite ploddy when he walks along, Wolfenstein looks like he's flying across the room. He's like, whoa! It's so fast. He goes yum 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 around all the corners. It's really good. It's fully uncut, so it's got all the symbols and
Yeah.
people in it.
Are you doing anything on
And
Twitch to kind of like put that across to people, or do you put the name of the game should kind of do that, shouldn't it? If you put the name of the game
yeah,
in,
I'll put the name of the game. I
it should
assume
come
it's
up.
okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's and yeah, so we put that on, and that was that plays really well. The and that one's got some enhancements. There is some story, so after each chapters you get through, it then does a little bit more of the story as like a screen of text. But we say that wasn't in the PC one.
Yeah. Is it very playable? Then this one, you feel like you're gonna get through it.
I
Easy
did
enough.
to a point where I could save anywhere I wanted, and then I realised when you actually load to save, it just saves to the level. So if you die halfway through it, you start the whole level over again. I didn't know that. I'm like,
Checkpoint systems back then,
yeah,
just brutal, weren't they? And we've got to
but
be happy they had them, you know.
oh yeah, at least you could do that.
At least you
I
could
really
do
happy with
something.
passwords, but it's been quite good. They added on all these soldiers shout things out as well. Like some German words and stuff, and it's really the audio is so lovely and clear on it. Like it sounds like CD audio on it. They got, but then the music sounds like it's straight from a MIDI PC.
Yeah,
It's like
you're going
that
back
sort of
then.
music.
I think the only Wolfenstein games I probably played, I didn't play those ones. I've known them, I've seen them, you know. But Return to Castle Wolfenstein was probably the first one, and I thought,
Oh yeah, I played that one.
that was so good.
Really enjoyed that.
Because when I played that, it was kind of a bit of a Dust Till Dawn moment. I just thought it was going to be against soldiers, and then you kind of you go into a tomb, and then suddenly it's the zombies and all that. I was like, oh my god, what? This is amazing.
It's really good with experiments and other monsters. That's why the New Order, which is a newer game,
I think I played that one. Yeah.
That one was. I love that one. That was
I
good.
kind of got I played it, and I think I just got through it really quickly because I've hardly got any memories of it. It was just kind of it felt like a blockbuster.
It's one of those where you just wanted to just play through it. You just really enjoyed
it. Go and done. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, it's only one.
But they're the only two I've really only played on the stream. The only other thing I've played off stream, because you started playing it, got me back into playing Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D. But I'm playing on the 3DS.
3DS version.
So I'm enjoying that. But you know,
it's good, isn't it?
It's on to. Here we go.
Well, yeah. Well, I suppose I should mention that because I've been playing. Do you know what?
I think you should.
I didn't even put that on my list. I'll be honest. I completely forgot I played it.
That's terrible. Oh, fair enough. I'm sorry. I thought you wanted to talk about that.
I should do. It is. Do you know what? I'm really enjoying it. But the more I play it, the more it reminds me just how good this SNES one is. And also the how I love the Switch. But the more you play it, especially the bigger titles, the more you realise it's got some issues. That the loading times on Donkey Kong Country HD Returns is insane.
Oh, is it really? That's weird because the 3DS one is instant.
Oh, it takes ages. I've got to say, it probably takes about. It feels like 20 to 30 seconds. It feels like it feels like that. It probably isn't, but it feels and you start a level and you're like, oh my god. And like in Donkey Kong, and he's got to run across the screen in this animation. You're like,
yeah.
And then he runs back, and you're like, oh,
really?
It takes ages.
No, that's weird. And also, there is a problem. You wouldn't notice this, but I did because I played the Wii one, and obviously 3DS. You know when you get a game over and he floats up on the balloon? For some reason, it's super quick on the Switch version.
Oh, really?
Like when he shoots up really quick. If you watch the Wii version, he floats up.
Oh, okay.
The only thing I have to ask you, do you find the jumping on the enemies to get the extended jump a bit of a weird mechanic?
I can't do it. I can. Yeah, I feel like maybe when I play the SNES version, I could do it. Maybe if that was in it, but I feel like I found it really tough. I found something else tougher, but go on.
Oh no, I'm just saying it's what it was. It's when it's not the bit where you run across, you roll across a cavern and then jump again. You create that kind of mid-air jump.
Yeah.
It's the one where you jump on the enemies, and if you jump just right,
You can
you
get a
get an
lift.
extended jump.
Yeah, I find that
But
tough.
I can't seem to perfect. I think I've got it, and when you think you've got it, you try it again, and it doesn't happen. So it is. But then a lot of people say though, like if you got Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Basically, if you liked Returns, I think you're really
I'm
like
100% getting that.
yeah,
I'm definitely
because
getting
it's
it.
the
Yeah.
improvements over that.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
would like that.
overall, I think it's great. I mean, the issue I have, control wise, I guess, is do you know when you got to roll into an enemy? Like it
Oh yeah.
feels like there's a delay, like a slight delay. I press the button and then he goes like that, and then he does it, and then that slight delay, he gets hit because you're too close. So if I try and roll and I'm close to an enemy, he'll get hit, and it's every time. And I don't.
Yeah.
Even
I was
I
I
suppose
think it's a
you're not doing
problem.
that. I don't know why because I'm used to. I played Donkey Kong Country 1 not that long ago, like last year
Yeah.
or something, and I just breezed through it basically as much
Yeah.
as I could. With that kind of thing anyway. But for this one, I'm finding that really tough. And there's some elements in it, like there's a boss I went against that took me ages, and it was like it's a simple thing. It's like a revolving kind of monkey statue.
Oh, I did that one. Yeah, you have to time it right from the cannon. But because its perspective is like diagonal, isn't it? It's not
Yeah,
like that way, it's not straight. And you kind of got to do it as you got to leave it
yeah.
to about halfway round. And then
Oh
by
my
the
god, it
time you
took
come
me
out,
ages.
then do it.
It's one of those ones where if I
Yeah.
go back and do it again, I'll forget, and I probably have to do it again because I want to go back. And that's the thing with these kind of games, the collectibles. You go through it, and then I haven't got all the letters or I haven't got all the
Ah,
coins, and I'm like, oh, I want to do all that.
well, actually, a good incentive of getting the Kong letters, which I only found this out
Oh
myself
yeah, go on.
because I did it by mistake. Because some of them I'll do it, but sometimes you do a level and like, especially a panicky one, like I don't care about letters, I'm gonna get for
Don't
the
care.
level.
Yeah.
That situation. But for some reason, one world I got all of the Kong letters on
Mhm.
each of the worlds in that part of the island, and when you do that, you unlock an additional level.
No,
So
on
each
each island.
yeah, on each island bit, each
Oh,
section you unlock, like as
it's
in like that
it's
part of the
not
island,
to
and
do with
you
the
move round.
keys. Not to do with the keys. Like separate from
Oh
when
no,
you unlock
separate
with
from
the
the
key.
keys.
Oh
That's
wow.
like that's to another bit. This is additional level.
Oh, I like that.
And that's where the thing is though, the additional levels are hard.
See, that's
Um
that's kind of a Nintendo way of doing things, isn't it? You know, they kind of like have the optional levels, like Mario, you know,
yeah.
that Mario optional stuff is like tougher stuff. How they do
It's
difficulty.
worth doing. They're tough, but if you there's no checkpoints. So
Oh,
if you die, you have to start
that's
over.
mean.
It is,
That's
but there's
mean. If
one
you
I
want
was on for
100%, you'll do it.
ages,
Yeah.
and I was getting annoyed. But you eventually do it, and you love it. You will, but
Yeah,
it is a bit like
I like it. It's
times.
weird because I really like I like the game. I say I don't want to say I
Yeah,
really like. The more I play it, the music at first when I was playing it on stream, I was like, oh, I love this music. And then when I was playing at home, I was like, the music's all right, but it just reminds me how good the original soundtrack is. And the original
yeah,
soundtrack sounds better, even though it's coming from the SNES. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. Because they tried to make it
A bit snazzier.
extra to it, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like
and I was
more.
thinking, oh, I gotta go and listen to this. And then I was thinking, I'd probably want to listen to the original
Mm,
more. And then any new track I was hearing, I was like, it's not as good. You know, there's
yeah.
not as original as the original. I mean, that's the issue I've got because I'm thinking about the SNES stuff. But overall, like it's really. I mean, graphically, I've got well into it. I like at first, I was
Oh, I
like,
think it was great.
I
Yeah,
didn't
and
think it looked as good as like the Super Nintendo stuff because I love the how like
yeah, it's
the,
that style, isn't it?
I don't want to say
It's
realism because you didn't get a real ape in there, but
yeah,
well, back then we kind of thought, wow, this looks kind of realistic, the
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
motion approach to it. But I like it. But I definitely want to get Tropical Freeze at some point. But
Honestly, that is the improved version of that
yeah,
game.
yeah,
The only thing is, it's the bosses are quite difficult because they're quite long grinding, just
yeah.
like in that one. But it is a bit easier. I'm stuck on the final boss on that, and I've been playing it on the Wii U
Wow,
because I forgot I had it on the Wii U because I was went to
wow.
buy a Switch version and realised, oh, I've got it on there, and I got a Pro controller for the Wii U, so I didn't have to use a big gamepad
So
or
this came
anything
out
weird.
on the the Tropical Freeze came on the Wii U, didn't it? Yeah.
Yes,
So this one I'm playing came out on the Wii and the 3DS.
yes,
So they've
yeah.
released it 3 times. That's nuts.
Yeah. Well, I can see in posts online where people showing it off. They've bought the
Yeah.
collector's edition with all the extra bits or what Nintendo sent, along with the 3DS version, all that. But the Wii version was a bit more annoying because if you wanted to roll, you have to shake the controller.
Oh, I hate that. God,
and you have to hold it sideways, and that little tiny D-pad. That's why I stopped playing it, because you can't plug in a Pro controller into the Wii remote and play it. That it wasn't supported.
Pro controller. But apart from that,
Yeah.
on my Switch, I mean, I'll quickly mention two others because we went overboard with that one. Little Nightmares I've been playing on stream. First time I ever played that.
Yes.
I am loving that game. Oh my word, that game. I think it's like at the start, it's a bit daunting because I didn't realize it was. I mean, stupid. It was so much like puzzle based, but it's not as bad as I thought it'd be puzzle wise.
No, it's not like
simple. It's kind of like, oh, you got to hunt for something. Oh, there it is, and then it's going to make a good jump. But the issue I've got, because I've been playing a lot of 8 and 16-bit games, which lack a lot of depth. Anything that's 3D, you can hear me moaning on the stream about it. Anywhere you got to look in the background or anything. I'm like, oh, where do we go? And because I don't have that depth perception, because I always want to go left and right.
You had to walk across an area and you just walked off the edge.
But you're all shouting, and we go, you just did it. And I couldn't see it. It didn't make sense to me where that thing was.
And you keep forgetting about using the camera with the other analog stick.
Yeah, that's
to look around. That's really essential.
Using the other stick. It's like the other stick doesn't exist for me because I'm used to using like a SNES controller.
Yeah.
Well, I'm coming into the 21st century now. I'm playing games, even though this game's from 2011 or something like. Or
yeah.
2017 maybe. That's too far back.
It's a while ago. But he still looks graphically amazing now. I'm sorry, but the style is gorgeous.
It's so good. There's been. At first, I thought, oh, this is not going to be that scary, because I got past a couple of bits, and then later on, I was just like, oh, it's so tense.
The arm guy.
Oh my god, the arm guy. There's a bit
where
you're walking around underneath like the sewer system bit on the boat. I didn't know you were on a boat, by the way. When I've seen people play it before, I never knew you were on a boat.
Oh,
and start, you kind of on a boat.
There's little hints later on the boat. Oh, well, wait a minute.
Yeah, I didn't know that. But like, you were walking with this little sewer bit or whatever it is that down at the bottom, and then the arm just comes out of nowhere, and that freaked me the hell out. I was like, and I've got to jump over it. It's like normally I think, oh, you wait till it go away, but I've got to jump over it, and I've got to go near it, and I've got to this bit where you're in the kitchen. And you got to be careful on top. And it's brilliant. I can't wait to play that, and I'm going to play the second one. But that's another one. I'm playing it on the Switch, and like Donkey Kong Returns.
Oh, that drove me mad. The PC version, because I played it on PC at the time.
Instant?
It was pretty quick, but when it goes face to black, it's not even. At least put an icon to say it's doing something.
It does in the bottom right. It does in the bottom right after a while.
Oh, I didn't see
after a while when it's coming back. But it's just black screen, and that's longer than Donkey Kong. That's literally 30 seconds.
Yeah. Oh god, that's really bad.
It's stupid. Yeah. So I'm sitting there on stream going, well, because you're like, okay, that's what I've got to do. And by the time it comes back, you're like, what have I got to do? You've lost the muscle memory or the kind of like motivation, and you're
especially when you're like, right, I'm ready. Come on, let's get on with it. And then you're like,
exactly. I'm hoping the second game isn't as bad when I get around to that.
I've got it, but I've not played it because I wanted to play the DLC first, because it's another character you come across in the first game you play as.
Yeah, DLC, yeah. So is the DLC in the first game a completely different story? Like, or so it's worth playing then?
Character based on one you meet, see.
Okay.
You don't talk to him, but you do see him.
Okay.
But I've not played it, so I don't actually know.
I'm definitely going to play that then before I move on.
Definitely worth it.
Why not? I've got that. So, and then the third one comes out this year. That's why I want to get around to
it. Me too. That's why I see you play that, and I'm thinking, oh, why have I not played it? And Danny bought Little Nightmares 2 on the Switch, and because we have separate accounts, because I've got her account on mine as well, I can play it as long as we don't play it at the same time, which we don't. Go. So I can play it. So I'll buy a game. It's almost like I'm sharing the game with her.
May as well.
Yeah.
I was thinking, because a lot of it reminds me of Inside and Limbo.
Yes, that's why I got into
that kind of survival platform horror or whatever. Yeah. But I'll be honest, I liked Inside, but I think I prefer this because it's more about tense horror situations, like where Limbo and Inside were very much like puzzle based.
Trial and error.
There's so many bits with like
trial and error.
There was a lot of like box puzzles or whatever.
Yeah,
I like the overall story, but when I think about all that, I thought I just get annoyed and frustrated because I'm just stupid. But when you play this game and the puzzle is you've got to run away from someone and do something, I kind of like that. That's a bit more like it's
not like you've got to a wall. What do I do now? And you're standing there trying to work it out. This one. you're having to deal with something.
Yeah.
Like one bit you got stuck on for ages, and I did as well. The bit where you got to swim across, there's that thing in the water.
Oh god, that. And there's a bit.
That bit took me ages, and
Which bit with all shoes?
The bit where you've got like a bit of a raft. I can't remember.
Yeah. There's a bit where you're kind of on mattresses and there's loads of
Oh,
shoes and
sorry,
there's like
that
a
one.
monster
That
underneath the shoes.
That's it.
So
Yeah.
I got there at the end.
Shoes. Yeah, of course it is.
And I
Sorry.
was at the end and went, and I was like laughing at it and all that. And then I just walked off instead of going into the door and it got me.
You know what? Yeah, I did kind of laugh at. I just went out loud.
It was ridiculous.
At work.
Because again, I'm not used to 3D perspective. So I just like, instead of walking into the door, I just walked off the thing instead. Ridiculous. But I'm loving it. The last game I want to quickly mention, is that I beat Mario Land 2 for the first time, and I absolutely adore that game. And this was one of the things I wanted to talk about, because I think this is a very interesting perspective, because for the longest time for me, Mario Land 1 was one of my favourite Mario Game Boy games ever, and it still is. But for the first time ever I can think of, it's the first time I've played a sequel to a game that I love as a kid, and I never thought it could beat the nostalgia. But I think I prefer this one. I think it's taking place.
Are you like me? We're thinking, like, I really like number 2 as well. Like, why did I not play that back in the day?
I don't know. I don't think I had access to it. I don't think I had access to it. And then when I've seen it, I thought, it maybe doesn't look as good as a normal Mario game. And you play it plays just as good as like the best Mario games. It's really good. Like, and the level design's great. The whole map. I can't believe they did that on a Game Boy cart. You go from Super Mario Land.
Got Mario Brothers freestyle map, haven't you?
It's incredible. The scope of it is insane.
And you can go back to previous levels, get some lives, come back.
Come back. You can do all that. You can quit out like the way you do in Mario World and all that stuff. And there's all hidden levels that I haven't even found yet. So you can like 100% it or whatever the percentage is. There's so much more to go back
little
to.
Mini games, the coin spending bit, and all that.
And they only introduced like one new suit, which is good, because I thought I'm going to be overwhelmed by all these new suits, and they just give you the carrot suit, the one we can float. So you've got that and the fire flower, and I was like, oh, that's quite good. So I just need to know about those. And then they've got like that level, which is got the best music I've ever heard in the Mario game, the Star World. It's so good.
Yeah. Is it the one where you can float up really high? The astronaut one. Yeah.
That was so good.
Yeah.
It's so amazing. And then the difficulty ramps up like crazy on the last level for some reason. Like, it's like, oh my God, Mario's castle is insane.
I made that problem when I played it back in the day. I got all the coins, got to Wario. I had a couple of lives. I got really stuck on the castle and didn't realise that if you game over, you got to get the coins again.
Yeah, I thought you were joking when you said that on stream.
No, I know. That's why I wanted to warn you, because that is the thing. It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah, so you'd have to go back and do all the bosses again just to
you've got to redo the bosses. You haven't got to do all the levels. I thought you had to do the levels all over again, but it's just the bosses.
Do you go straight to the boss, or something when you go to the level?
I can't remember. I haven't gone back to it yet, but I know it's quite tough.
It's an interesting way to make the game, but it just makes you go, I'm going to try and go and get some lives, because if you go to the first stage, there's like 2 extra lives there.
Yeah,
the ones you get in the block and at the top. So you can just keep doing that, or you go to that level I was doing, we get the star and get a free life.
Get star and get 3 lives, yeah.
And there's probably a better way. There's probably another level to do it. But the Wario bit, I don't know what it is, right? And this is quite funny. I think, like me, running, because I'm very much used to running left to right in platform games. Yeah. And there's a section in that game, and I feel like everyone who plays any Mario game can just do it really quickly and beat that game. For some reason, when I have to run right to left and jump, I had issues. I was like, why can't I do these jumps? I just wasn't used to running that way. I was so ridiculous. I just don't understand. It was just one section. And as soon as I got over that section, I was like, able to get through it.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. Because you're not used to going back on yourself with that sort of part of it.
And then the big moment happened. Were you there when this happened, by the way, on stream?
Well, do you know? Oh, I got sorry to tell you with that part then, because I was watching on mobile.
You didn't see the
what I actually saw. I thought something went wrong, because I saw you get into the bit of the boss, because I put the video on, because I thought I've got to see you do this, right? So I got to that bit, and then as I was watching, all of a sudden, I suddenly heard you go no like that. And then on my mobile, it froze.
Yeah.
I couldn't get your stream back up. And I was like, what's going on? I thought it was an end stream button someone did. And I couldn't get it. And then I finally got it back on again. And then I finally found out it's because you got a redeem.
Yeah, so a redeem, I have to tell everyone else. So basically, I was streaming this game on Twitch. and got right to the end, and multiple times I've only got to Wario like twice beforehand, and I've died.
It's a long level. It's a long level to get back
no
to it.
checkpoints at all.
Yeah.
And then this time I got to Wario the boss, and I was fully powered up. I had like a fire flower or whatever, so I had like basically 3 hits chance to, and you got to beat him 3 times. But I was on the last section of Wario, and all I had to do was jump on his head 3 times, and I've got 3 hits, so there's a good chance of me doing it.
Yeah,
and then
somebody
somebody in the chat redeemed this incredibly like expensive redeem with points wise on Twitch. That I put in there thinking no one would ever be able to afford it, because I just thought it'd be funny, where I have to reset the game, and it was Mr. J who did it. And
out of all the people,
silent but deadly. And I was like, because I don't even have a big alert that goes off, because I never expected anyone to do it. I just have it there for show, for a laugh.
You've got to have a sound thing now, because
yeah. So I had to just press reset, and thank God, obviously, when I come back, I'm back on I can go back to Wario 1, because people complain and go, not for that much, you've got to delete your data. And I was like, no.
Oh, I heard that, and I was like,
come on.
Oh, come on, what?
Don't be me. That whole thing is just reset your console. That's the whole thing.
Yeah,
that's what made it funny.
That's like that's equivalent of saying, like having your mate or your if you got a brother or sister and going, I want to use it. Well, no, and they go,
that literally happened to me as a kid, because I got 2 brothers, and I was playing Gauntlet 2 with my brother, and we got to like level 100, so we were on it all day. And my brother got my other brother got annoyed, going, "Why can't I play?" And he came over and said, "Well, I can't play," and he pressed the reset button and walked off. We had to start again from 0. So yeah, that's a little bit different, but like we remember that in our hearts.
Was that kind of equivalent, isn't it? Really.
But the thing with this is just the fact that I had that redeem. Never thought anyone would use it, and he comes along and does that, and everyone was like, "Oh, you should delete your data." Well, no, because we had a prediction going on, because you can you bet your points.
Yeah,
on the
by
stream.
1 o'clock.
Yeah, by 1 o'clock, can I beat this game? And that was right before 1 o'clock. Weirdly enough, though, the next attempt I did it. But it was after 1, just after 1. It was like
I'm gutted. I went for yes. I would have got so many points.
I know. I think a lot of people would have, because everyone voted no against, because I've been so rubbish at it.
Yeah, and I was like, no, you're because I thought you've got a load of coins already. It's not like you're starting from scratch.
No.
As I thought, no, you got a good chance.
The practice. It's just that it was that one section I had always had issues with, where I was jumping over those things, and if I can get over those, there's a good chance of me doing it. But I managed to do it like what, half a minute past 1 o'clock.
It was literally, literally was, So
everyone was like, "Oh, I can't believe you did." It's like, it wasn't my fault. I might have done. I probably would have done it.
I reckon you would have done it, because you had 3 chances on it. You had the fireballs ready, and I reckon you would have done that.
But overall, God, that game is good. Like, it make I know you're doing the Game Boy Challenge this year, but it's made me go, I want to play more Game Boy games this year, because I'm missing out. So,
GB 100. What's that?
I'm not doing the GB 100.
Well, I'll accidentally do it.
I'm definitely gonna play Wario Land 1, which is Super Mario Land 3.
Yeah, thing is with those, they play a bit different with Wario.
Someone was saying the first one of them is using the engine of Super Mario Land 2.
Oh, because the later ones, he has a different kind of mechanic.
I've got that one here, which is the second one, obviously. So the first one, it's called Super Mario Land 3, which is so confusing. But Super Mario Land 3,
because you don't ever hardly see it. It's like tiny writing.
Yeah, tiny writing.
Wario Land.
But I was thinking I might try that next week, possibly. Although I'm only on Monday and Tuesday next week, so I could do it on. I've got my partner first on Tuesday, which is the big stream.
I don't might be a good one to play on then.
I might do it on that, because I really enjoy the other one. So if this one's good, I have a good time doing that,
Yeah,
and
make sure you got your battery save on it, or you're gonna do it.
I might use the flash card. Yeah, do you know what? Talking about that, look at this fancy box I bought the other day. Fancy box for all my tools.
Yes. I want to talk about that.
It's got me soldering iron in it. It's got me IPA in there. It's got me
cuddly toy.
It's called the toy. Soldering paste, as you call it, in a flux, and all that stuff's in there, because I didn't want to put it in my main toolbox. This is the fun box of like,
I did the same. It's separate. Nice. It's not the same sort of thing. Like, especially smaller screwdrivers and things like that.
The console
really
ones.
For them. Yeah,
because I'll know they're in there. So it's just, I've got one of those ones, just to kind of like, when I take it downstairs, or I'm doing on here, it's just like I've got everything I need in one place, and I'm looking around, what else can I get in there to put in there, But I'm getting into kind of wanting to fix things, and it's all restoration for what we're into, and what for like a lot of people maybe watching, like the nostalgia and all that. If you're buying your own consoles or old games, they weren't built to last this long, were they? They just
No,
weren't. Like
no,
battery
they weren't.
saves. They never thought that we'd be playing the likes of Mario Land 2, like what, 30 odd years later.
Well, it's the same with like the GameCube. Like the internal battery is just in front of the 4 ports at the front. But when the battery dies, you can't just pop out and put a new one in. It's soldered to the board.
Oh, really? On the game? Oh, wow.
Just like a Game Boy cartridge.
That long
But
as well.
what you can do, which might be a good project for you, because there's loads of good videos for it. You take if you've got a GameCube in the same problem with your one, which they mostly have gone because it's like 20-year battery. You can actually replace it with I don't know what they call it, but it's a battery kind of dock, like a little slot. So if the battery dies again, which will be a long time, but if it dies again, you can literally pop out the battery and put a new one in.
Wow.
But you just basically solder a new little
What does it use the battery for? Is it got a clock in it? I guess it's got a clock in it, isn't it?
It's a clock. It's a clock in it. Yeah, for when you save games and it tells you when it was saved.
Yeah,
but it's just one little thing. It's the same with the. It's the same with
the Saturn's got that as well. I think the Saturn's got a battery that needs changing. I think someone was telling me that a while ago.
Yeah, it is, but it's in the expansion port in the back. You can literally unhook the back of it and then pull it out. It's it's another CR32.
I've got a Saturn and it does. I don't think it saves. I wonder if it's something to do with the battery.
Yeah, it's definitely the battery. That's why if you did do stuff with a Saturn, buy an action replay cart, because treat it like a giant PlayStation memory card. Save your stuff onto that, and you won't need to worry about the battery anymore.
That's a good idea. I don't own any Saturn games as well, but maybe I shouldn't get into that. But I've got a Saturn. But
that's later down the line.
Yeah, maybe later on. But my project I want to do after do some practice things. I'm going to get work on a clock and all that stuff. I want to change that screen on one of the Game Boy Colors. I've got one of that one and a purple
one. I've done one of them.
Have you done one? Did you do a soldering job on, or did you do ones where you could plug and play?
Mine was a solder, because the plug and play one weren't available at the time.
And
it looks gorgeous. Yeah, I'm not much of a soldering person, and I managed to do it. I've done that, and I've done a DMG Game Boy. It was a backlit screen one.
Nice. See, I've only got one original Game Boy, and so I don't want to do anything with that. Although the plastic screen comes off now, so I need to glue that back on.
Do you know? Do you know what you should do instead? It's up to you. It depends how different you want to do something. You can actually buy nice glass replacement ones.
Oh, nice.
And it's much better. You don't scratch like the plastic ones. It makes it a clearer picture because you haven't got that kind of plasticky tint.
Yeah.
And they're not expensive or anything,
but
they're literally glass. They stick on.
Oh, I might get that because your one's just coming off, so it's a good chance, rather than having to glue that back on and having to take it off.
Yeah, do you know what? Don't do that, because you can get a better one. I think.
Yeah, I'll
keep
do that.
The original one, but I mean, if you're going to put a nicer screen on it, it might be worth doing it. Or at least what you could do is you haven't got to stick it down right away. You can compare it and see which you'd prefer to use. But I mean, they're pretty good to do, and they are literally glass, so they are.
The thing that's led me down
nicer.
this path is because I was playing the original Game Boy recently, and it still looks great, I think. Because the contrast is as long as you've got good batteries in there, the contrast is great, right?
Yeah.
But when you're playing a Game Boy Color, in my mind, it was really bright.
Yeah.
And you can see everything. And I was playing it recently to test it because I was changing out the battery on Mario Land 2. And it looked awful. It was just, I couldn't hardly see anything. And I'm thinking, is it because I'm 40 odd now? And I'm like, like this. Strike it by the window.
And I remember like tilting it at angles, even though you've got full light on it.
I always thought it was the Game Boy Advance. That was that. But it's this as well, isn't it? It's really tough to see.
The only way to really get it looking really nice, I remember when I used to take it to a park, and I'll be sitting there out in the park when it's like summer holidays. And unlike like modern stuff like the Switch and the others, where you don't want to be in too much sunlight because you can't see the screen, it does make the Game Boy Color look a lot better.
Yeah.
But you've got to be in massive amount of light.
When you switched out the screen, did it just look fantastic at that point? It just looked really good? Or it looked a bit better?
It looks I didn't replace the screen yet, and I replaced the front lens I didn't change straight away because I didn't have one, because the original one is the replacement screen is slightly smaller than the frame that you've got, so it annoys me because you've got this border inside.
That's annoying.
So that's why I was waiting for the glass one to get. But the actual replacement screen, it's night and day. It's so much better. It's crystal
really bright. You can just play it anywhere.
Completely different. Completely different.
So, as a question, because you've got an analog pocket, what's that like in comparison to that with like the replacement? Is it good? Is it like what's it? Is it night and day still with the analog pocket? Is it like a lot better because it's so clear?
It's about. To be fair, like you'd be happy with either. You wouldn't look at the Game Boy Color and go, "Oh, I wish it looked like this." Because the analog pocket, the difference in the analog pocket is a larger screen.
Yeah,
you won't get a larger screen on the Game Boy Color because literally you can't because of the casing.
It's the screen. Yeah.
But I mean, it's obviously I prefer the analog pocket just because I could do 20 other things on it rather than just Game Boy and Game Boy Color. But the thing I wanted to do for a little while, which I know someone was talking to you about using a Game Boy Advance to play Game Boy Color games.
Oh yeah,
But for some reason, I don't like it. If you put a Game Boy game in a Game Boy Advance, it doesn't look
right.
I don't know. It doesn't look authentic enough. Is
it because the screen's a bit? What's the screen ratio on?
Can't remember.
It's not.
Game Boy. Yeah,
it's
that's
not like
it.
a 4:3, is it?
No,
no, it's not. It's a bit longer.
Yeah, and it is a bit of a different shape, and because of it, you get an extra border on the Game Boy Advance. It makes the picture even smaller on it, and I some reason it just didn't feel right.
It's like when you're playing in one of the games online or something, you know, or if you were emulator and it has the borders or something. You know, you play for a Nintendo Switch online.
It feels like that sort of thing. Yeah, it feels like that.
Yeah. I get it, because I like the idea with the Game Boy Advance because then it can play everything. If you just change the screen, you've got more. But there's something about the form factor of a Game Boy. I just love the Game Boy. It's one of the best designs ever. That's why, you know, I'm so excited about the Game Boy with the Lego coming out this year. It's just a simple, you know. Should we talk about the news then?
Yes.
Well, actually, before we get into the news, can we just have a quick recap of the Nintendo Switch too? Because we put out a video last week or this week. Was it last week? Last week when the news came out, when the news broke.
Week. Yeah,
I can't remember. When the news broke out, we did an impromptu stream to talk about. Well, a video to talk about it. And we just talk through there's been no news since that broke, really.
No official news.
Every website under the sun who reports on video games is like squeezed it dry, including us, to be honest.
Yeah.
But we did one as well. But anything you think of, what's not playable on it, and what is going to be playable. Let's look at the close look at Mario. The one thing that we didn't confirm when we were watching it is that we didn't know that was the new Mario Kart, and everyone else did. We toyed around it. We were like, it looks new. We haven't seen this before, but it looks so glossy. I thought you would just go. It was
especially you had no on-screen stats. No one was playing it, and I thought, well,
they didn't make a big deal of it either to say this is new Mario Kart. It was just there. So you
now everyone's saying that's going to be the packing game or something.
Yes.
And all this sort of stuff, and it's going to be, and the thing that someone picked up on, I didn't pick up at all when we watched it. It's got 24, 24 races.
Which is a lot more. Even though that track looks boring as hell, you know, because it's just one long track.
I know it must be.
That's what I was saying. It can't be real because that track could be awful. But we don't know what the game is, what kind of Mario Kart it is. It could be like some kind of weird online, kind of drop in, drop out type thing. You never know. You could do something really crazy with it. But hey, the thing about Mario Kart, though, because we were talking about this a while ago, do you think that's a powerful enough launch title? I think it is compared to Metroid, because that was my worry that they were going to launch with Metroid as like the launch title for the Switch 2. And I was like a bit worried about that. But Mario Kart is incredibly huge still,
and it's still. And the thing is, it still is. You can jump into a lobby right now, and you could still play it. There's people that were still playing. It ain't available now, I don't think. But when you could still do online with the Wii U, people still playing the Wii U version of Mario Kart 8.
Yeah, you know, that's crazy, isn't it? And it's when they released it like a decade ago, the original one. It's been out for a long time. And so they haven't released a new game for that long, and it's a perfect title to release because if you think about it, they're going to put that out. Me and you are going to totally 100% get that game.
Oh yeah.
Every streamer on the Sun is going to play it.
Yeah,
every streamer's going to play it. Everyone's going to play with them. Everyone's going to be playing Mario Kart. And if you get a Switch and you don't get Mario Kart, then I don't know what's going on for you, because you need that game, because that's the game everyone's going to be talking about and playing.
Yeah.
There's rumors that a new 3D Mario is being listed in some stores to come out this year as well as a Zelda remake. Now, the 3D Mario game, that makes sense because obviously it's took like another decade. But what would the remake of the Zelda remake be?
That's interesting.
Because at first of all, I was thinking, could this be language that you could use to say we're going to re-release Breath of the Wild with a graphics upgrade or something like that? But it feels like
I hope not.
I
That's a
think
bit boring.
I think it's too boring. I think it's like they already announced. I reckon they used that kind of announcement to say all the other games are going to work, and that means Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, and they're going to look better because we've got this AI upscaling going on, whatever. But I don't think Nintendo would use the word AI, but they've got this AI upscaling going on with all the games.
Oh, yeah.
But
The only thing, I would say the only thing, if you look at the pattern of how they've done stuff, they did Twilight. I'm gonna get this right.
Yep.
Twilight Princess was on the GameCube and the Wii, and it was at the end of its life and the start of the new console. Then you got Breath of the Wild at the end of the Wii U on the beginning of the Switch.
Yeah.
And then I hope it ain't this though, but it might be Tears of the Kingdom on the Switch too.
I can't imagine that.
I hope it's not.
No,
I want like an old one remade to look really nice.
Because they've already brought out the remastered Twilight Princess, didn't they? For the Wii U, I think. Did they do that?
Yes, they haven't. Yeah, it's. Oh no, was it Skyward Sword?
Skyward Sword came out again on the Switch, didn't it? That came on Switch.
Yes, it did. Yeah, so that one, they're all kind of.
Wind Waker came out on GameCube and Wii U.
Yes.
So I think it could be Wind Waker, because if it's on the Wii U, it's like murky waters, isn't it? Because not as many people would have got a Wii U as they probably wanted.
Yeah, and again, the Wii U re-release games based on the Switch have done really well.
Yeah.
Since then, and again, it would make more sense because like everyone loves the cell shaded stuff. It's quite timeless. They could do some nice enhancements on it.
It looks different enough in between like the next Zelda and the Zelda Echoes of Wisdom that's just been out.
Yeah.
I think I'm just being selfish really, because I've never played it and I've always wanted to have time to play it, and I think it'd be perfect for me. Really, so I would 100% pick that up.
Yeah.
But they would sell it like full price again.
Well, it would be like 60 quid and all that. But the thing is, it's be interesting because if it is one of those games, that is to be the first time they've released the same game three times on different consoles. This would be the first one. I know we had Donkey Kong Country, but I mean, as in like a Zelda
3 times.
game.
Yeah, I mean, it sets a precedent for them, because like why wouldn't they do it? You know.
Yeah, it'd be mad not to, because they've got it there. It's a gorgeous game, and it would look really good on the Switch.
Because I know people were saying, it could be one of the Oracle of Age, one of those games, the Capcom ones or whatever. And I think aren't they already on the Nintendo Switch Online service?
They're already on Switch Online. Also, I don't think they will, because they're even though they're Nintendo, they're technically Capcom.
Yeah.
Which is weird to say, it's a Zelda game. I know they own the rights, but there must be some sort of legal thing with Capcom.
What about Ocarina?
Oh,
that's a big
one. Actually, that... Well, no, we have had Ocarina re-released on the 3DS.
Yeah, but then we have Donkey Kong.
Quite well.
Didn't they go well on 3DS?
It is gorgeous on 3DS.
Oh, yeah. That's the one I played, and I thought it was amazing on 3DS. Yeah. And they also Majora's Mask as well.
But both of those got done, didn't they? Yeah. They would be good, because them being on a bigger screen with the new graphics.
Yeah.
That would actually be a good call if it's one of those ones, definitely. Because I don't think it'd be one of the 2D ones.
No,
it's got to be a 3D one.
It's got to be big news, isn't it? It's got to be a remake, and because we've already had a remake or a reboot with Zelda Oracle of Wisdom. As much as it's a new game, it's very in the style of Link's Awakening. So I don't think they're going to have another one like that.
No, because that's kind of...
And we've had Tears of the Kingdom. So they're not going to announce a new Zelda game like that. That's like the next one's in development for years ahead of time, isn't it? That's going to be the
and
next
also, you can play... They want people still buy Tears of the Kingdom because you'll be able to play it on Switch 2 anyway.
Yeah, you're right. If you think about how many people buying in this console and how many Switch games being bought, they want parents to know you can still play your existing Switch games on this next console, including the Zelda games that you'll...
I didn't even think about it myself, actually. That's my own argument out the window about... Tears of the Kingdom. I didn't think about that. Yeah. But yeah, there is that.
the launch title of like a new Mario Kart, I think it's way time for that, and a new 3D Mario, definitely. Like I 100% would buy those this year. They're the games of the guy.
I would, even though like you go, oh, I want a new Metroid to be out as launch.
Of course, yeah.
Yes,
So,
I
you know
would.
What? Yeah, I want Metroid as well. I want all 3 of those games, and give us a new snipper clips as well to launch it off, and a new arms.
A new 1-2 switch. Someone said on the stream, they went, "What 1-2 switch 2?"
That's good. That's good. There's a bunch of those games. I was looking at Arms today. I had a little look in the shop. I haven't played that since I think I played the demo or I must have played it somewhere.
Yeah. It did demo online.
It's a shame like that didn't take off, and because it's like £20 to buy now, and I'm thinking, why is it that cheap? Is there some issue with it, or I don't know?
Because he hasn't got a single player, because it's online only.
Is that why?
I think so, because it hasn't got a single player part. But it did play really. The problem is with it is a little bit broken. If you play in motion with it, it's good. But if you want to get the better reaction, you go to buttons. So if you go get someone who's motion, you'll beat them.
Yeah, that's it. Okay,
things like that. But
so to wrap this up, then, so the direct is happening on April 2nd, and I didn't realize when we were recording this that I will be halfway to Toronto.
Selfish.
I'm so selfish. I can't believe it.
How dare you?
I can't believe it. It's horrible, isn't it? So what we're gonna do? Well, I've been planning. Well, I've been thinking about it. What we'll do is that you will host the podcast. Still here. You'll just be able to press the buttons to say, to put the window on. I will go into it completely like new to the direct, and you can walk me through all the announcements.
Yeah.
So I'll be reacting.
I'll be well up because it's getting your first reactions and won't say
wait.
Anything.
So I won't watch. I won't look at any news, and I'm just going to go straight in it. We'll work out like what the time is and all that stuff, and you'll just have it all ready, and we'll just step through the thing.
I'm well up for that.
Yeah, I think that'll be exciting. Really I'm excited thinking about it because it'll be great. Because every bit of it's going to be really cool. I'm like,
If it's a long video, if we're doing this at like 3 in the morning, I'll be like asleep. And you watch it, and then you say, "That's good." Oh yeah, that's good.
Come on, I need to work out what the time will be. I don't even know what the date difference. What time we even get there? But I was thinking as soon as I get there, I'll work out the time and see what time is good for it. What days? I think it's a Wednesday. There's the direct, isn't it?
I might take. I know it sounds mad. I might just take a day off. I might put that day off. I'm gonna put a day off because
so we can do it. It'd be I'll be like, I'll get there. And I'm like, Lindsay will be like, Steve, we're on holiday, you know. I was like, Lindsay, this is the Nintendo Switch 2 announcement. This is got to be done now.
So you might be walking around on your own on holiday.
Luckily, we go in apartments, so it's not a hotel. So hopefully, it'll be on Wi-Fi, you know, and all that. So.
I was about to say because hotel Wi-Fi is
no, because I'll be on a phone. I think. Rough. So hopefully, I won't have the best sound quality, but like if they give you the login details for all the stuff we use and stuff like that, and that's sort of make it as easy as possible. But anyway,
you take your PC with you. Get the webcam set up. Get the camera.
Maybe next time round. Right, we have a look at some news then. So I'm going to mess around with this a minute, right? So if I do this studio mode, I'm going to tell you because I'm setting up the browser ahead of time, right? And if I go this and press this button and press that, and then I press this. Like magic, it should appear. There we go. Look at that. That's the magic. Look at this production value. So this is the news you put on about the Resident Evil 4. What is it? One of the greatest games ever turns 20. It feels like it's longer.
Oh, really?
For me, it feels longer. I don't know why.
Oh, I'm shocked. I felt, no way has it been 20 years. I thought maybe, I don't know, like 8 or something maximum.
What console did you first play this on?
I probably PS2 is the first time I played it because my friend had it and I played around his.
I think for me it was GameCube, weirdly enough, because this is one of the few Resident Evil games I played years ago, and I played it on GameCube. I remember trying to play it on PlayStation 2, and I could not play it because the controls felt weird. I was so
I'll get that.
The GameCube version was brilliant, though. I remember thinking it looked a bit better than the PlayStation 2 one when I looked at it. But,
well, when they brought out the Wii version, they made it even better because it's basically a GameCube game, but this is the first. The actual motion control with the cursor made aiming so much better.
Oh, did that work well?
It worked really well. They say it's the best version.
Did you have to you have to like to play the whole game in kind of aiming mode then, or could you like settle down and play it like walking around?
Well, you can play it. No, I think you play. Well, because you got the nunchuck, so you'd be like, you still have the two separate bits, so you can have it on your lap while you're going around, and then when you need to aim, you then move it up, and then but you could get proper accurate with it rather than kind of sometimes moving it a bit awkward.
I'm gonna say how nuts with Nintendo, by the way, with the nunchuck and the Wiimote. Like, if you think about it, when we first looked at it, I thought this is crazy, and then as soon as you used it, you instantly got it, even though we didn't like the waggling. But it was just so weird to have a nunchuck in one.
It's like broke a controller in half with a cable in between.
It's so strange.
Well, I just sit like this. I would like to sit with my arms crossed like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And things like that.
Playing like Zelda with that, and I hated that having to do this to use your sword. But anyway, Resident Evil 4, 20 years on, I think it's becoming one of those games, a bit like the way Doom is and Skyrim is. It's one of those games that just gets brought out over and over and over again.
Yeah, we've got a VR version on the Oculus headset.
Have you tried that? Have you tried the VR version?
No, because it only works on the Quest 2. I've got Quest 1.
Oh. Yeah, okay, I've got that.
It's got a big selling point of it.
I got reminded about the Quest 2 because someone was talking about some really good game, which is a bit like Skyrim, that's on sale at the moment. And I was like, oh yeah, I've got one of those. And last time I just always get motion sickness with it. And I feel like any game like this where I've got to move around, I love the idea of it, but I'll just be ill in about 5 minutes.
You kind of get like your sea legs type of thing.
That's what people
The more you do it, the better you get with it.
Yeah, I need to do it, but I always forget I've got it. You know what I mean? It's one of those ones. I think it's not. Maybe it's laziness of the hassle of plugging it in. As soon as you plug it in, it's got to have an update.
Make sure you're in a room where there isn't stuff you can knock over.
And that's hard.
Things like that.
And then as soon as you put it in, it's got an update, and it's like, and then you got to put your password in, and you're like, what's your password? So you go on the PC, and by the time it updates, you've done something else.
You can't be bothered. Yeah,
that's it. But I thought that was cool. For 20 years, and it's still going strong, isn't it? We've got like more Resident Evils. Do you reckon they'll ever go back to that kind of style of Resident Evil? Have they done that? Because it's all like
they kind of have. If you look at Resident Evil 2 on the PS4 and onwards, it's all over the shoulder stuff.
Yeah, that's true, isn't it?
That's what they kind of go down. Because the only time I've fully completed this, my own little thing I did, is I bought the chainsaw controller.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you did, didn't you?
And I played for the entire game and completed
you haven't got that to hand, have you? You haven't got that to hand.
I have actually.
Go on.
Yeah, I can quickly grab that.
Sorry, I'm making you go and grab things, but your room's like a treasure trove with all this stuff.
Right, excuse the dust on it.
No, it's all right.
There's a bit of dust on top, just to warn you.
There's a little bit of dust, that's all.
Yeah, there's a little bit of dust. Right, so first of all, this is a copy of the game I got, the tin version.
Nice.
Which is really nice. And then this one, it's actually in the
oh my god, look at that.
Facing.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
And the thing is, this blood on here, this is every single one of them is unique. So someone literally was paid to splash paint on it, and every single one is completely different.
What? How did you know that?
Because I looked at pictures and there's stuff about it online. I looked and I went, no, that can't be right. And every single one I've looked at, these have been completely different.
Yeah. That's got to be worth something now, isn't it? With the case and everything.
Look at the state of that. Look at the state of that.
Oh my god, mine's the same. Everyone says you should dust. It's like, do what?
Yeah.
Dust? Why do who needs that? That's the reason. Yeah, how much are they going for nowadays?
I got lucky. I got this at like
I'm sure I remembered them back in the day, like, and they weren't that pricey when they first came out.
Because no one really liked them. They thought, oh, what a novelty thing. But I only got this. I think I got it. When the shops just opened up after COVID, and you could go in, but you had to queue outside, and now let so many people in. That's when I got it. And it was in the window of CEX, and I didn't expect to get it. I was literally just looking around, and I saw that, and I went, oh, it's one of them. I've always wanted to get one of them. I think mine cost me, I think it was 75, but I had vouchers that I collected over a while ago, and I think it cost me around about £30.
It's a piece of history, isn't it? It's an absolute piece of history that they probably never do again. Maybe.
And inside as well, where you connect it to a PlayStation, you have to plug a cable in, but it's a unique, like, male-to-male cable. One plugs in the controller, then one's in the system.
Yeah.
Where the actual cable is in a little drawer at the front. When I took the drawer out, it's never been opened.
Oh wow.
So practically, someone must have got this and just put it on the side and never used it.
Oh wow. It's a shame they didn't bring one of those out for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. It kind of makes some sense. Or someone would have played that game with it.
You can literally play anything with it. Yeah. It's literally a controller.
What's it like
the
then?
GameCube.
I was like, what's it like? Because I remember you playing it on stream. I'm sure there was an issue. Does it get cramps or something the longer you use it?
Well, the thing is, when you're walking along the level, you have to hold a control. You have to hold the chainsaw up because it's got a motion. When you put the chainsaw forward, he aims.
Yeah.
And if you pull it back, you could do it into running mode. So you're using the analogs like this up this way, and then as soon as you need to shoot someone, you lean the controller down, and then you use the analogs to shoot it.
Nice.
But it's just a bit awkward to it just hurts your hand because it ain't got grips that kind of go to your hand. But it was totally playable, and I played through the entire game with it, and I loved it. I thought it was really, really fun. And because you said you like the GameCube one, the GameCube chainsaw, different colour. This one is orange.
I didn't know they made different versions of it.
Yeah. So, and also, this is a plastic casing made look like wood.
Yeah.
And that's an orange, like reddy orange controller. The GameCube one is on like a rock mount, and it's yellow, and it's got a different casing.
Oh my god! Wow.
So it's actually completely different. So technically, if you want to be a completionist of
the
these
GameCube one's got just as much blood on it as well.
Yeah, and again, same sort of blood on it and stuff. It's literally different colour, slightly different shaped, because this one, ironically, the PlayStation 2 one came out after the GameCube one, because they had first rights to it, Nintendo.
It's mad to think that Nintendo kind of supported all of those games in such a way back then. You wouldn't think of them doing that nowadays. I mean, you get that with the Wii U, some of the games, but not to that extent, and it did at the GameCube times.
Technically, Resident Evil 4 was a GameCube exclusive, which is mad to know that a Resident Evil game was timed exclusive.
Was it a timed one for a while?
I can't remember if it was timed or they wanted more sales, or something happened with Capcom and they decided they want it across other platforms.
Maybe that's why I played it on there first.
It would have been.
Probably why.
Yeah.
But the next bit of news, going from Resident Evil
to
Black Screen Records is bringing the Super Mario World 3 LP soundtrack to the West. I do want this. And I know someone on a community, Daz, went and bought it.
Yeah, Daz, he's going, I've got a link for you. Check this out.
And I really want it, because Super Mario World, I love the music. It's got some incredible music.
Yeah.
I need to listen to it. I don't know if there's like a link to actually like what they're going to put across.
Do you know what? I felt the same, because like you play it with the music, you play the game with the music, but I've never dedicated listened to the music tracks.
Yeah, because it's not like Street Rage one where you're going to get like full tracks of music. Because I don't know if it's going to be like, sometimes you listen. I had this Street Fighter release. I think it was from like Bandcamp years ago, and every track was about 30 seconds.
Oh, it's like,
and you're like, are you going to get like really short tracks on this? Like, I don't know. I haven't looked into it that much. I mean, I love the cover of it and everything. I mean, that's not like it's not real, is it? But I do like the idea of it. I'm going to ask him when he gets it. But it's going to be shortly after, what was this? Super Mario World originally came out on Super Famicom with the soundtrack landing shortly after. So it actually came out on 2 CDs. Did not know 2 discs.
Yeah, it did. There was quite a big market in Japan for soundtracks, because unfortunately, because they're like they're just quite expensive now if you want to get the Japanese soundtracks for stuff. But they loved that. There was so many soundtracks you could buy. But over here, that's kind of it was a bit more unusual over here, because people, why would you listen to game music? You know what I mean? We did.
I love the idea of it though, but I'm sure he gave us a UK link as well that you can get it. I don't know if they're gonna like buy it from Japan and then resell it or anything like that.
Yeah, it comes from Tower Records, which is so mad, because that's like an old store, but it's still big in Japan. Basically, think of it as a HMV.
Yeah, I went to Tower Records. It was amazing.
I went to the same one. I think was it one of the really big ones.
So good. Well, they've also got one in Dublin as well. I went to Dublin last year. There's one there. Yeah, I didn't know anywhere else. Yeah, it's got one there. And it's just really expensive.
Yeah.
We were playing, we're going, oh my god. But in the one in Japan, it had like gigs on and everything on a couple of the floors. It was amazing. There was so much going on. It felt like so community based. It was incredible. But yeah, I really want this. I'm not going to get it though because I'm not paying the import fees and all.
I think it was about £70 or something before import tax.
Yeah, I can imagine being really expensive. Let me have a look. Well, what else have we got here? So, oh yeah, we got this. This is a fun one because I really want to get an Evercade. Oh, did you? Oh, that's so loud. I'm gonna have to try and mute this before I play it on the stream. Right. Mute. Did you hear that when it says? Can you hear that?
No.
No, good. That's interesting.
No.
So it's a YouTube video. So if I this is not as seamless as I want it to be, but whatever. Right.
That's why it's live.
It's live. Share. Here we go. Right. So it's the Evercade. Do you know what? I always want to talk about Evercade because I want one, and at some point
I want one.
You're the same as me. At some point we're gonna get one, mate. Yeah. We're gonna get one, and then our lives will be open because then we're going to be looking for Evercade carts. That's what we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
So this Broken Sword Collection, which is basically comprises of the first and second game, brilliant games, especially the first one. Here's the cart there. It looks quite nice, isn't it? The issue, I guess, is it's the console versions. So if you played the PlayStation one, and so it makes me wonder. I mean, it shouldn't. It depends how it's going to play. The PlayStation has incredible long loading screens. Obviously between each scene. I mean, which makes sense. But will this?
I'm about to say it depends on the way they work with the software because it should technically be instant.
Well, if you bought I'm not going to pretend I know how any of this works, but I'm just thinking about when I remember buying like a copy of like say Wipeout on PlayStation 3, like the original Wipeout, and it was like the PlayStation 1 version. You know? And then the loading screens on that were really long. I was thinking, oh, why?
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Okay.
Also emulating the loading screens as well. So I was like, so I wonder if that would be an issue. And he probably fixed it though. He probably it probably isn't long. It's just as soon as I saw the word console versions, I was like, oh, okay. Because you just brought a new version of this game. You can see kind of pixelated on there as well. He brought out a new version of the first game recently. With extra bits and all, so it's going to get
heard about
it's going to be the basic stuff, isn't it? But to be honest, these games are incredible, like so damn good. I mean, if no one's ever played Broken Sword and you like your point and click adventures, it's right up there with one of the best, if not the best. I mean, Blade Runner is my favorite, but it's so damn good, and the animated sequences and all of this is just done with so much love and care and attention. It's been released loads of times through the years.
It's so many versions, isn't
it? On the DS as well, which doesn't have the voiceover.
Was it on the DS? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's on that. It's got no voiceover. It's got subtitles. So you do miss because like part of its charm or part of its brilliance is the voice work in it. Like the performances are great.
Well, that's it because I've actually did good actors in it and all that lot, and it feels like you're playing a movie, doesn't it?
It does. It feels like a proper movie, and so it's not. The only thing about the Evercade collection is that, like, once it comes out and sells out, they don't make any more, do they? I think they just make a limited amount of carts because I'm sure someone was saying to me like they're really hard to get hold of at some point. They sell out.
Oh, I don't know about it because I always see because CX started.
Yes, I see in CX. Yeah, I see them in there. And there's loads of collections. I go, I'll have that, And I wanted to get one of the I can't remember what the mini arcades were called. We were talking about them ages ago.
Oh, yeah, machines. I can't remember the name of that one.
And because it takes Evercade carts, I thought that's the best of both worlds for me to get into that kind of thing. And I've seen some reviews, and people seem to like those machines. And I think, that would be quite nice because obviously I don't need them all arcade one-ups now, so I wouldn't mind some tabletop arcades. And that'd be a nice one, I think, because it gets the Evercade cartridge in there. I think the Mega Man one I was looking at, or the Street.
Also, did you? I think it was, I don't. You obviously must have looked in it before or not, but some games you put 2 different games in, it unlocks extra games.
Oh.
So basically, if you buy 2 Evercade games, it don't have to be the same collection. And when you put them in, say like you've got a system that can take 2 cartridges, so you can't do it on the handheld, but with the Versus, the console one, if you put both in, it actually unlocks additional games that are not available on their own.
I think you said something about this a while ago, actually.
Some still do that.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by that. Yeah, I don't know when it's gonna start at some point, and I'm gonna get into it. I don't know when it's gonna start. At the moment, I'm trying to stay in my lane with things it's saving up for, but at some point, I'm gonna get something with Evercade carts in it.
You might get one in Canada on the cheap, you know.
Oh God,
Even though it's a British console technically, but you know.
Yeah. Right. Well, let's go to the next thing, and you can tell me about this because I know nothing about this, which is the new N64
Yeah.
64DD flash cart. What's this
Basically,
about?
the thing that makes this a big deal is that there's lots of EverDrives out there. They're basically clones of original the Crix one, but this one can support it as the bigger memory that the larger, expensive one does.
Oh.
So, like, I can't remember what the model number is, but the Crix top end one, for example, Dinosaur Planet. Which is it becomes Star Fox Adventures on the GameCube. It originally started out on an N64 game, and it wasn't Fox; it was another character altogether. But someone released a prototype of it on the N64.
Yeah.
But unless you've got the top end one, you can't play it because the way it works. So that's what the top end one does. With this, it does the higher end games that don't necessarily fully work on the other clones. But the big thing is it also does the DD. No, I keep getting the game wrong. Is it 64 DD? It's basically, you know, the disc. In Japan, it had an extra disc base unit to it.
Yeah.
It was like a low. It was like a rewritable like cartridge, and basically it supports that really good. Along with the loading times is instant and stuff because some of the older ones, and it's a really good. This guy's video. He does fantastic videos. This guy. He goes into full depth of why it's worth it, and it's slightly open sourced.
Nice.
So people can do improvements on it, bring out their own firmware. And it's basically, if you want to get an EverDrive but you can't afford that top end Crix one, this is an amazing second option one. So that they're showing is the track builder on F-Zero that was only available on the 64DD.
I never knew this existed. A track builder. Wow.
Yeah, and it was the same with Mario Paint 2.
Yeah, there we go. Oh,
it was only on the cartridge.
Wow.
And basically, they treated it like a giant kind of rewritable disc.
Yeah.
And the idea was that you can create stuff and then personalize things on it. And this EverDrive, well, it's not EverDrive, I keep saying that, but I think it's called. It's got a strange name though, Summercart.
Yeah, I don't know why they call it.
I don't quite understand the naming, but it's a great option if you've got an N64 or if you're buying that analog 3D and. You know, you want an all-in-one situation.
That's gonna be a thing, isn't it? I think people are gonna, if we're gonna get the analog 3D, it's a good option, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's basically what that makes it worthwhile. It's a cheap alternative. It's highly available. It's got open source, so it makes it a really nice alternative if you don't want to buy that top end one.
What game was that? Do you know that one?
I've no idea.
Love the colours.
It's like a. I think it's kind of like a Yoshi's Cookie type game.
Yeah, it definitely is.
But I don't know. It's a Japanese. I think it might have been some of the Japanese exclusive ones that.
Oh, maybe that's why it can only be played on this.
Yeah, and it can play on his EverDrive unless you've got the.
Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna give that a proper go later on.
Yeah, honestly, that video is worth watching because he goes into good detail on like why this is a good EverDrive. Not just play some games. He sort of goes through and says the improvements on it.
Nice. Okay. Let's go on to our next bit of news before we take some questions. Do you know what? Because actually, we'll go two more,
okay.
right? Because I want to end with some toy news because we never do that, and I want to.
I'm up for that because I don't always follow the toy news like yourself, and then it gets me to sort of learn.
Yeah, the retro toys, and I want you to get into it because I think I could probably tempt you to start collecting more figures.
Well, after going to the toy fair in December,
I think you said the toilet. I have to go in the toilet.
I was going to the toilet. I suddenly I thought, oh wait a minute, I might collect what now. Yeah, when we went to the toy fair at NEC, like just after Christmas.
Yeah.
Even Danielle was like, "Oh, when's the next one on?" Because she's up for going to it. So we are getting that bug of.
We'll do the two toys one now then, because I'm interested in getting your thoughts on something. as you probably already know, because I've mentioned this before on stream. So there's a crossover happening with Masters of the Universe and Thundercats. So last year they did the crossover with Turtles, which had some mixed results. Some of the toys look good, some of them don't.
When I saw them, I thought I would have been into that because obviously I loved He-Man, loved Turtles, and I kind of went, if I saw them in a charity shop cheap, I would have bought them, but I wouldn't spend full money on them.
For someone who went crazy with the Origins figures and loads of the Masterverse, I didn't get any of them. And one of the reasons was because I just saw down the line that there's going to release wave after wave, and it's going to be like, oh no, it's going to be something I'm going to buy forever. And there wasn't anything that jumped out on me that went, oh, this is a must-have.
Yeah, that's how I felt. I thought it might have been a really cool looking shredder, and there was one. I think it wasn't as good as I don't know.
It felt a bit like it just threw loads of different parts on people, and nothing looked cool to me. It just looked a bit like random. Is probably the word I'm looking for. Just a bit randomly put together.
It kind of reminded me of when they do weird collaborations when it had Stranger Things and Turtles. You're like,
does that,
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Stranger Things and MOTU as well, with Skeletor on the top, and you've got the I can't remember the bad guys from Stranger Things. I mean, the bottom, whatever his name is.
I don't really
one of those things. I'm a bit like torn because sometimes the quality's not as good when you do it like that. I don't know why, but the Skeletor wasn't as good. But anyway, they announced last year, I think it was at PowerCon or San Diego Comic Con, one of them. That there's going to be, they teased it basically by putting the Thundercats logo up, and then we at the Master Universe thing, so we were all like, whoa, blew our minds, but we didn't know what it was going to be like. So this week they put out, obviously you can see the pictures here, the first figures of the first wave from this crossover between Master Universe and Thundercats. Now, this is the Mumra figure. Now, it's not just a Mumra figure, this is the Lux figure that's coming out, which is a cross between Mumra and Skeletor. So you can see, like, he's got the...
You can see you've got the...
You got the Sword of Plunder there, and you've got, like, a swap-outable head with...
That's cool.
With the thing, and you've got, like, a new brace there that goes on over there. You can see when you can do this, and you can turn him into Skeletor. I think that's so cool.
I actually really like that, It
looks really cool. I think that they've done a really good job with that, because it just you think that's a completely different figure as soon as you've done that. It just looks so good. And then instantly, that's Mumra. And with all the bandages and everything on him, so damn good. And he swapped him out, Skeletor, bam. But you can also put the bandages on him as well. So
I'm about to say you can probably mix and match and stuff.
And give him that sword as well. You can put the head under his arm.
You could do
some fun stuff.
And all that.
And I love his cape and everything. I just think because I'm like, announced to the world, I'm an out of box collector. I'm going to open things. If I end up getting some of these, I want to open them up and play with them.
No, these I feel you got to with these.
You got to. Look so good. So that was the one I jumped at me thinking, that's such a good idea, the way you've mixed them. Because obviously they're the big villains of those two series, aren't they? So this is the first wave, so there's going to be many waves. You'll probably get a different Skeletor, and you're going to definitely get a Mumra when he's all like in his robes.
Of course,
You've got to have that one. And what was his dog? What was the dog called in Thundercats? Marmot. I think it was Marmot, wasn't it? Mumra's dog. I think it was Marmot. It came up much later in Thundercats. There's like 130 episodes. It came later on. It's like it's like what you can get a toy of him, right? And so these are the other ones as well. So I've obviously got a Lion-O, and it looks very He-Manified, let's say.
Yeah.
He looks like a He-Man figure, and like the legs. I was saying this the other day on the stream. To me, the legs look a little bit thinner than I'm kind of used to with a Lion-O. I don't know why. Maybe it's just a picture, but it looks like it might just be the picture. But his arms, like if you look at his right arm, or his arm on the right for us with the big shoulder pad thing on it, his arm looks bulky as hell, doesn't it?
I think you know why? Because of his loinclothy kind of bit.
Yeah,
he's quite wide on that bit, so
maybe
it makes
that's
his leg
what it
look
is.
thinner.
Maybe an in hand would be better, And then you've got like that helmet there in the middle. We can swap his hair out, which is weird. And that's more of a kind of a He-Man-y kind of Eternian helmet.
I was about to say, I don't know the helmet, what that bit's from.
I feel like that'd be a more like the He-Man, because I guess it's the Thundercats coming to Eternia. There's the same thing they had with the Turtles. They went to Eternia, and then because they mixed up with the ooze from Turtles, so I don't know what the story is with the Thundercats.
Why can't we have cartoons like this?
It sounds bonkers.
I want to see it.
It does sound. We can get the comics and stuff, but I want the cartoon. Wouldn't the cartoon be amazing? This is how you relaunch a cartoon. Put them both in it. You know what I mean? We'd be so excited. they can do this together. Why can't they make like a limited series? Just put like 6 episodes out or something like
Yeah,
that.
Netflix, come on, Netflix, do anything. Go on.
Oh, I want to see. God, I want to see an intro with Thundercats and He-Man in it. It's so good. And they've obviously got the Sword of Omens, and they got Cheetara, which is like, oh god, I need the Cheetara figure. I love Cheetara. She's amazing. She was my favorite as a kid.
Mine too.
I loved anyone who could run fast. It was a thing.
Yeah.
But
Well, the intro, the bit where she's running on the intro, I love the intro for that bit at the beginning.
So
straight
good.
Away.
So good.
Cool.
Just
so
seeing
good.
The speed of her. I mean, she's got the bow staff, and she's got the Eternian kind of headdress with the hair flowing back, which is a bit different. She's wearing armor, which is a bit weird because it's like Cheetara is like really light and nimble. Weird way to wear armor.
I have a feeling it's because of how the clothing was in the cartoon. They didn't want to make it too sexualized.
Maybe
in that sort of pit, maybe.
But you could just have it having something like something just covering her. But like, what's the original figure? I've got it here.
Oh yeah, what's up on that one?
So the original figure's there. I mean, she's covered up.
Yeah.
But she's like can be quite nimble. You know what I mean? Fast.
Look at her go! Wow.
You couldn't even see it. It went round the room 6 times then. But I just feel like with armor, I mean, you could probably take the armor off. Let's be honest. And then,
I'm about to say, I wonder if it's like rubbery and it just comes off anyway.
It'll come off of the back and all
so
that. And you
part
can
of
replace
it matches the helmet.
Yeah.
If you look at the same color.
Oh, it does, yeah.
So maybe that's really
kind
part
of
of that.
armor, yeah. That's it. And then you've got this one, which is the one that's going to divide. Everyone's going to be divided by this one.
That's not Snarf, is it? No, Snarf, not Snarf. Battle Cat. No,
that's Battle Cat. They've made Battle Cat into a humanoid character. Because think about it. It's Thundercats, and then you've got a cat. You can't have like it'd be weird, wouldn't it? If you'd be riding a cat, Lion would be like,
will he be on his back going, "Go on, get him"?
Everyone would be like looking at him, going, "You're right. People ride you over here."
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be weird, wouldn't it?
Back to the bedroom. Come on,
so
people.
They've suddenly just got like I think they thought right at the beginning we need to get rid of that because everyone's going to be like, "This is weird." It's it's how they explain like He-Man coming in riding Battle Cat when all the others are cats. Suddenly all the others got to ride Lino.
It's a shame it can't be like a bit of a transformer. And he can kind of like turn into a bit more of a Battle Cat like stance.
Yeah. I'll be honest, the first time I saw him, I thought it was weird. Every time I see him now, I think he's so damn cool.
But when you think about, it goes really well. What's the whole point of it?
It does, and it's the Thundercat logo on him. It looks amazing. Yeah. I'm loving that, and it's just like I don't know. If you were a kid and you saw like Battle Cat he went to the Thundercats world and he turned into a big standing up cat, you think, whoa, that's cool. That's a cool story. So
because with the original like Battle Cat as well, it didn't really move, did it? It was like static.
It's just
body.
It's just plastic. Yeah.
Yeah, this you'll be able to move them around and stuff as well.
Exactly, and you don't really want. Yeah, I just feel very sorry for Battle Cat if he was just like a normal cat again. He was like, oh, don't I get to play?
Yeah.
So that's what he gets to do, and in this kind of crossover. So I'm a bit happy with that. If you're talking about Snarf, though, I think they'll bring a Snarf.
They've got to do Snarf one somehow.
I think they'll do like a Snarf and Orko because they're both the same kind of size.
Oh yeah, of course.
They'll do that one. They'll do like a 2-pack where maybe they can change over like the way Skeletor and Mumra do, or it'll just be the 2 characters in 1 pack. So you're looking at these. Do you reckon you'll be interested? Do you reckon you'll get into like buying any action figures?
They are. Well, to be honest, it does hit over like both the massive series I watched as a kid. I know I don't really talk about them that much, but I absolutely. I had. Here we go. You're going to say, I knew you had that. I had a load of the Thundercats toys back in the day.
Did you? Oh, you didn't have the Thunder Tank, did you? Oh,
I did.
Spoiled. He's so spoiled.
Here we go. I didn't, but my parents wouldn't buy me the base though.
If you have got this far in the podcast, please put down in the chat, Plunger was spoiled. Right, here we go. Plunger was spoiled. That's the secret phrase to put in that we know you've been got this far in the podcast. Thank you. You got the Thundercat. Go on. Well, tell us.
I got that. I didn't get the base though.
The Thundercat layer. Yeah, that's a bit too much, isn't it? That's a bit too much. Yeah, I didn't know anyone with that.
Never got that.
I knew someone who had Mumra's one. You could put Mumra in it, and you put the hooded Mumra at the back or the front, and you put the big Mumra
and it twists or something, didn't it?
It's like a door. You press a button and it twists around and he comes out. And I thought that was cool. Like,
I think my friend had that. I think my friend had that one.
It's like everyone. We always have mates who had everything.
But the thing is, with that, I remember one thing. God, that brings back a memory. I think because it flipped round, I think me and my mate kept on trying to do it as quick as we could to try and see the figures go flying out.
Yeah. Because you made your own game with these things, didn't you?
Yeah.
Right. So if you could pick one of these to buy, so you're gonna buy one, like the deluxe pack with like the 2 figures in, or one of these, which one are you going for?
I think it would be the Mumra or Skeletor.
Yeah,
like
me too.
Because like him at the beginning of that intro when he's going rah, and like
so good. He looks like that, doesn't he?
So good. And that cape as well. Imagine that on the side, and you've got like
so
that would look really good on display.
I wonder if that's purple on the other side. Must be, mustn't it?
Oh, you flip around.
Yeah, must be. That's how they got it.
And that way you can just change it about. I think even though it's good to have the good guys and all that lot, but the bad guys always are really
kind of a bit more interesting.
Coolest,
I can't wait to see what else. I think you're right. Okay, what about if you were going to pick just one of these? Because that's a bit unfair because you're getting 2.
Chitara,
I think Chitara.
I think it will be, to be honest, because I love the mainly because of I love the helmet with the hair at the back.
Yeah, I do as well.
It looks really cool, and it's got a lot of articulation on the arms as well. So you get her in like a running stance or something like that.
Definitely.
You know? That'd be
so
quite
the thing
cool.
is, like Super 7 are currently doing Thundercat figures, and they're like, I can't even know what wave they're in now, but they're like Super 7 are awesome for figures and that, but they're a bit more pricey, you know.
What makes them? I don't really know Super 7.
Super 7, so they're a bit more of a kind of adult collecting, action figure collector. You know, thing like kind of like what are they called? Is it Neko? Neko?
Oh,
like NECA.
NECA,
like,
right.
They make like I'll quickly show you something as we're talking about. Just so we can get a bit of context to this.
Yeah, because I've seen some of the NECA ones before. They look incredible, but unless you got the money to...
It's a little bit more expensive. So Super 7... Let me get this up. Come on, internet.
Now, I'm trying to feel other things I had for I had quite a few of Thundercats. The thing I had about Thundercats, even though the one thing I'd love to buy again, it's not really an action figure, but I'd love to get the sword again. We press the button and it glows up the center.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love that. Here we go. So this is the Super 7 stuff, which I don't go near because I will tell you in a second. They're a lot more expensive, but this is the new wave of Thundercats figures they're putting out. So these are the characters that came out a bit later on in the cartoon series, but they're going for like $65 for like one figure, and they're amazingly made. Like, look at it; it's way more for adult collectors.
We can't see it, by the way.
Oh, you can't see it. Sorry. Oh, you can't.
No.
Sorry. Yeah, I've just realised in press transition.
So
here we go.
Okay.
These
here we go. Right,
these are the ones. So you look like they look very good,
they
don't
look
they?
Like
incredible. But the
straight out of the
prices me
cartoon,
off. Where like say for a one from Mattel, like the figures we were looking at before, they'll price at about $24 or something like that, or 20 quid for one figure.
Yeah.
Where the deluxe figure probably a bit more pricier, but like that Chitara we were looking at before, about $24, 20 quid. So you're seeing about $65 for one figure, and you are getting something that's a premium product.
Yeah.
But with the other one, you're basically getting a toy, which I kind of like more, to be honest, because I want something I connected with as a kid, and that's
what it is, isn't it? It's that memory back on it. With these are where like example.
I mean, that's a little bit cheaper.
That one there.
Yeah. These are the cheaper ones. These ones. You can get these like cheaper, smaller versions, which are like $30. These are the premium ones you can see here.
Oh, look, when you do like the diorama type things, is where someone... Oh, look at that. That's amazing.
So good, isn't it?
But that's the sort of thing people will do. You'd build up like a little scene behind it with a light. Oh, wow, look at him. And you would have it in that same position and treat it more like a high-end model.
Yeah.
Really, oh wow,
it's so good. But like the ones I kind of go for, they gravitate towards the ones from Mattel, which are a bit more like if I pull something off this.
But they're more iconic, though. I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely more iconic.
I think that's what it does because I've got a couple. I've actually got a Lionel that I actually got from a car boot with the sword.
Oh, you've actually got the sword. Like
yeah.
Wow, the sword's quite hard to get hold of as well. So you were lucky to get the sword.
Break. It was with it in a big. Like a big bucket with some other stuff. So I got a load, but I've got nowhere to display them properly.
you're going to have to make some space now because we're going to be talking about these forever. So I like the ones that look like they were from the 80s, that kind of form factor. They're just a bit updated with the joints and things like that, so they last a bit longer. With the old ones, used to have a little elastic band in the with
and the armor just go.
So they're made a bit better, but they are made to look and feel and get you that sense of nostalgia from the old days. Where we look on the Super 7 stuff, as much as they are brilliant and look incredible, they price me out. And don't really hit that kind of thing I'm going for. Although, I'd love to have them. But
if you had a games room where you had big display cabinets, large display cabinets, usually have a line of the really top end ones,
Yeah, exactly. Top end ones and money. That's the thing. Well, so
these
money.
Ones, because that's a
the price point of these ones is great for me, about 20 quid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can get these cheaper as well. So when they're going off, when the new wave's coming out or they haven't sold in the shop, you'll get them for as low as £10 or something like that. That's the best price to go. And you're not going to get that with Super 7 because you can pretty much only get them from like the Forbidden Planet or those places.
And they will send it high. Yeah, I think I might have seen them in Forbidden Planet. Thinking about that, I think I might have seen the high end ones.
Yeah, you will see them, but you'll see those as well. But these ones tend to go to other places as well. Like you might even see them like in a Tesco or something. They sell them because they're a bit cheaper, so they're a cheaper price point for the parents to buy them and things. Well, that was us talking about the toys and stuff. I'm going to give you a. Oh, do you know what I've got? So I've got a new feature this week, but I'm going to ask.
I don't know about this.
So I'm going to do this first before we get into questions. This is a feature called A Boy and His Blurb, right? This is a thing I used to do years ago with someone, and I used to love doing it. And basically, all I will do is read the back of a game, and you have to guess what the game is. And I'm going to try and omit any kind of names or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, this could be because I had to remember to grab one. So I've just grabbed the one. This might be really easy. If you get this before Plunger, please put this in the comments down below.
Okay.
And, we'll use an honesty system, and we'll know when you've done it. Right.
Okay. Right.
Plunger's very good knowledge about games, so we're going to try him out with this. Okay.
Don't do that.
Let's see if you can get it.
So well on that top 50.
I need to do a timer, don't I? So I need to give you the timer when I've read it. So I will do like a timer of like 30 seconds or something. Is that good? I think that's good, isn't it? 30 seconds
10 minutes to be fine.
So let me get this ready. How do we do this? Clock. Is it in there? Oh yeah, set timer. That's good.
Okay.
So we'll do 30 seconds. Are you stressing out now?
Yeah, I am now.
For you.
I'll be nice, relaxing talk.
You're probably going to get that straight away. Like, okay. Join someone in their search for Garuza's great something treasure. Travel across the continents where you'll encounter treacherous, tricky foes. Gather tools, clues, and keys in danger-ridden lands. Then collect your courage for the final adventure on the great something treasure island. Your time starts now. 30 seconds.
Oh.
If you want me to repeat it, I will read it again.
Yeah.
Join someone in their search for Garuza's great something treasure. Travel across the continents where you'll encounter treacherous, tricky foes. Gather tools, clues, and keys in danger-ridden lands.
Island.
No.
Oh, one of those.
Then collect your courage for the final adventure on the great something treasure island.
Oh, Zack and Wiki, the Wii game. Zack and Wiki.
Time's gone.
And Thingy's treasure.
No, it's not that.
Oh.
So you didn't get in your 30 seconds. So you can get a clue. It's on the Mega Drive.
On the Mega Drive.
A game where someone crosses continents. A character crosses continents and they get tools.
That's a bit that's thrown me. The tools.
Something about a specific tool this character uses that they upgrade. I'm going to talk into it until you get it. They get a certain tool, they upgrade through the game so they can do some things like traverse over platforms and things like that on the Mega Drive. And they've got treasure in it, looking for treasure.
my God.
It's a licensed property. So it's not of a film, but the character is licensed. And it was featured in multiple games. Everyone's shouting at the screen now.
Oh, oh no. This feature might not last very long with me. The
name of the game is one word, but it sounds like two words, but it's one word they put together. And the second bit of the title, because it's little text underneath the subtitle, says starring someone. That character. I'm going to give you a bigger clue now, okay?
Yeah.
It's a Disney game. It's a Disney character.
Oh.
Where you got to look for treasure. You gather tools. You upgrade your main tool.
Quackshot.
It is Quackshot.
Oh.
You got it. You got it.
Oh.
Come on, let me know in the comments if you got that. You didn't get it this time round, but I reckon you're gonna get it next time because now you're aware of how the game works. You know what I mean? You'll come up with a plan.
Nervous.
And maybe I'll give you more than 30 seconds because that 30 seconds went stupidly quick. Went stupidly. I didn't even finish.
You weren't talking again in the island, and that didn't help.
I did read it first and then did the time, but I think the next time I might do it like 5 minutes or something. I think it's better, isn't it? 5 minutes.
Do you know what the weird thing is? Reading the blurbs on the back of boxes,
yeah,
it shows you like how much I don't really read that much on the back of them. All the time you go look at the pictures, go, oh, looks nice, and you kind of recognise it.
And you've got to kind of like, because you don't even, first of all, you don't even know what system it's on, so you're starting from scratch. It's like, well, what game?
Oh, yeah, that made it really
it's always going to be a retro game, so it's obviously not going to be like something like PlayStation 5 or 4 or whatever. You know, I'll go, I think the highest I'll go was like PlayStation 2, probably. With still quite a little big range, to be honest.
Oh, still big, in PlayStation 1.
I mean, imagine if you did the Atari 2600. You play as two opposing tanks. Is it tanks?
Yeah. A battle to the death in a maze-like world.
So that was easy, right? We're going to answer a couple of questions before we end the podcast, right? We've got loads of questions, so this is great.
Yeah, we're going to have to, pick and choose for the moment. The only one I do want to champion is
go on.
the one. Let me quickly say that I think it'd be a really, really good one. Is.
If we get loads of questions that we haven't answered, we could do like a Q&A episode one day.
To try and catch up with some of them. The one that was from Raincloud. What was the best prize you ever got in a box of cereal? That's what I really like that one.
Can I answer?
Yes, go.
So when the film Willow was out, they used to put these little Willow pieces for a board game you could kind of collect or pieces from it.
Okay.
It was just like a little, so you get all Mad Mardigan, Willow, and all that, and it becomes like a big board game thing. It was amazing. Like my mind was like, went straight to that, and I know like the Spooky Dokies and all that stuff I want to talk about because I loved all those. I didn't even have a bike, but I love those, the reflectors.
Oh yeah, I remember getting the Frosties one. And I had a bike, but it was a BMX that had the white middle, didn't have spokes, so you couldn't attach it. So I remember my dad putting string around it to keep it on.
Nice. That's nice.
It kind of works.
Yeah, it kind of nice that. You were lucky though. So before you keep that in mind, you were lucky because you were a single child, weren't you? Only child.
Yes.
So I had like two brothers and a sister. So if there was a prize in that cinema, it was everyone in that area. We were all looking at each other like the good, the bad, and the ugly, like looking at each other going. Then someone's hand to go right in the cereal and go, I'm not having my cereal now. But you were like, you could just take your time.
I used to do that. I used to go straight in for it because I was the only one eating it. But still,
hopefully you put that in the chat in the comments. Unbelievable. You had your own special golden cereal. Just for you.
Well, okay. Mine's probably going to be quite boring, but I really liked it. When the mask, I think it was for the cartoon.
Oh wow!
Came out. They had pen toppers. And I had Milo the dog. And he was in there, and I love that thing. I used to every pen I ever had. The thing was, though, it was quite heavy, so trying to write with it was quite.
Was it like a mold, or was it like? Floppy?
It was a mold. It was like molded, and it was like it was like a bust. It was just like the head.
Yeah.
Like it went on top of pencils or pens.
That's cool.
And I love that thing. I used to carry it in my pocket all the time. I didn't get any others for some bizarre reason, but I only remember having that one.
Oh, that's cool. Do you know what I loved about cereal prizes? Let's call them that. It's appealed to our collector nature, didn't it? Like straight away, we knew if you were obsessed or with which one you were going to get, you know what we're going to turn out like this when we're older because we're just like collecting things.
You look at a bag and go, 5 to collect. You go,
and you're like,
5? I don't need the cereal.
I guess that was the first blind box thing you could get. Cereal,
yeah, and also they didn't always. You couldn't always see what was in the packet. Some of them they'd be white, and until you actually ripped open, you wouldn't see what it would be.
Do you always use those molds? Like, I'm sure they had the molds of all like the Kellogg's characters at some point. So you can get the Cocoa Pops monkey and all that stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I had that. Yeah, I had them.
There was holograms in some of them as well.
Yes.
Oh God, I loved. I mean that's a separate bloody podcast we should do. Just to talk about cereal packets or something. But that's a really good question. Thanks, Rain. Yeah, so that was mine.
Yeah, good one. But yeah, that's that one I really wanted to do because I was really interested to know what you're going to say for that one.
Right, so here's a question. One Up Jack asks, if you could wipe your memory of a game you've played, so you can experience it for the first time, what game would that be? I don't know if we've answered this before from a different question, but my memory's wiped. It feels like we've answered. What
do you have something off top of your head?
It's weird because I gotta say Mario World, but I don't think it would be that. Maybe it would have been that like last week when I talked about. But my first answer that came to mind was Metal Gear Solid. Weirdly enough.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because there's a spoiler in that game which got me.
Yeah,
I didn't, and I was like, what?
Yeah, same. Yeah, I know the bit you mean.
And it's just the story and hearing the music at the end when you hear that song playing of the credits, and it really got me emotionally. I mean, the Metal Gear Solid series, I don't even talk about those games that much because I'm more of a kind of a retro gamer before that. But those games hit me weirdly, like so emotionally. So
the first one is so movie-esque for it. It felt like you're playing this big epic film.
Maybe because it's got a good crossover with like movie. You know, it's
I think
it's really creative. It's incredibly creative, and it's just such an amazing kind of intimate experience. That game, it just feels like it really connects you with you in different ways and in different ways than any other game does. And I think it's because I think it's because I'm coming across like a movie that you experience and play.
Yeah, I don't think what that one would be. I think, I would want to go for like the obvious ones. Like, it's not Streets of Rage 2 or something like that because it's just it's good. It's a beat 'em up, but I think it's something with Impact Story. This one's a bit of a weird one, I guess, but the Walking Dead Telltale games.
Oh God, yeah. Oh,
because the impacts.
So don't spoil the second one, just in case I ever get round to it.
Oh no, I won't tell you any spoilers. No spoilers.
I know the first game, so I know where it goes.
Well, there's something else happens in another game that I remember what happened actually, because I remember when what I did was me and Danny wanted to play it, but she saw me play it and then she played it and did a different decision. I said to her, when the next episode comes out or the next game comes out, I can't remember if it was the episode. I can't remember how it worked now. But I said to her, I'll play it when you're not in the room, or if you're out and I'm playing it, or she's asleep because she goes to bed early, I'll be playing in the evening. And then I'll watch you play, but not tell you my decisions.
Yeah.
And one thing happened. I was playing it. She was in like the bedroom or something, and I was playing the game. And something happened. I can't explain it anymore because it's too much a spoiler. Something happened, and I really reacted to it. Ooh. And Danny went to rush in the room to see there was something wrong because I made a big deal about this. And as I heard the door go, I then shouted at her. I went, get out of the room. And then she panicked and she didn't know what to do. She went, okay, sorry. And she went out of the room, and then after this thing happened, because I didn't want it spoilt for her because she hadn't played it yet. Yeah. And I knew that she would react the same as me. I know it sounds a bit a bit I can't really explain it any better than that, but it when she did it, she did have the same reaction as me, but luckily I shouted at her. I really had to go and get out of the room, like she did something horrible.
Just remind you, get out of there, because what was she thinking? What are you doing in that room? Like if you're like, get out of the room and you're fumbling around.
I think I swore and everything at her, but angrily, not even panic, as in get out, really
what are you watching, Plunger?
I know. And then as soon as this thing happened and it was done, she went all quiet back into the bedroom, and then because this was in our flat, so we only really had the bedroom and the living room as places to sort of go to that separated.
Yeah.
And so, after it happened, I went back into the room and I went to her, I'm really sorry, but something happened in the game. But because she's playing the game as well, she totally understood.
Yeah,
She
totally.
didn't have a
She'll
go at me and
understand.
say, "Oh, what are you shouting at me for?" She kind of got it. And once this thing happened, I said, "This is why and that sort of memory of that."
Yeah.
Of even that certain part of that Telltale game was amazing, and then getting to a decision where you're going, like, what do I do? Do I say that person or this person?
Yeah.
And that was quite a big deal. But
it reminds me because
yeah.
I mean, to bring on a very similar game and the way you're describing that later on is Life is Strange. That's another game which I thought was incredible.
Oh yeah. I've only played the first one. I've not
Me
played
too.
any of
I
the
have
others.
not played the others, and
Ah.
I will quickly mention in a minute about the new one that's coming out. But that game, it hit me so hard. And Lynn's, my wife, doesn't like video games, doesn't play video games at all. She took an interest in that one, and she wanted to know where the story was going to go. And there's a moment in that game where obviously you mess around with time, but there's like a dark timeline in that where not favorable things don't happen to some characters. Something horrible things happen to some characters, and it hit me so emotionally, especially with the music and everything like that. It was so impactful. And it's one of the games where I go, would I want to play that again from the first time? I don't know, because where it goes. It's so good though.
Well, because the reason why I really like that game because I really like the film The Butterfly Effect.
Yeah, I've got to remember.
And it's kind of like that in the game.
It's got a bit of that, isn't it? So the new game, because I haven't played the sequels either, but I think I'm ready to play the new one that's coming out from. Is it Don't Nod? Is that the developers, the original one? I think it is.
I can't remember.
Something like that. Anyway, they've got a new game out coming out in next month.
Is it? Oh wow!
It's called Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, and it looks very similar to obviously Life is Strange. The first chapter comes out next month, so I'm going to play that. I don't think I'm playing on stream because it's if there's anything like Life is Strange, emotional.
Them sort of games, there's games that are great for streaming, games that I think shouldn't be for stream.
Also, if I've been playing that, then I'll be like crying if something happened and then Cilla Black appears on the screen or Gary Barlow. It will be absolutely hilarious. But also, it probably damages my thought processes of the game. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I just said a little. But I'm going to play that first chapter, so I don't know if you're interested. I don't know how much. I can't remember how much the chapters were in those games. I'm assuming about around a tenner, something like that.
Yeah, and they kind of released them. Was it like one a month
or something like that?
Something like that, wasn't it? Yeah, and so it was quite nice because it felt like you were playing. It felt like you were playing like a TV series.
Yeah, exactly. You can't wait for the next one. Because I don't know if I did Life is Strange like that. I might have played the first couple of episodes and then waited for the other ones. I can't remember.
I did it all in one go, I think, because I bought it as a set when it came out, I think.
Weirdly enough, I've got the third one on Switch and I've never played it. I think it was True Colours or something. I never got around to it.
Oh, yeah. I heard good things about that, but I'd never played it either.
But this one, because it's new and I'm trying to play some new stuff this year, it's like, I'm going to give it a go. And because it's only the first episode, it's not going to be like a massive time investment like, playing Assassin's Creed or something like that.
Yeah, especially when you can, just have little bits of it each time. Yeah. It's like 2-3 hours. Well, no, it's probably like 2 hours.
Yeah, not more.
And Walking Dead was like that. That's why we got round playing all the episodes, because it was about an hour and a half each episode. I'll get through it like in that time, and then I would get to see Danielle do it later on.
Exactly.
Without taking up too much time.
So I'm going to give that a go for the same reason. I feel like playing one of those games. Okay, so last question we'll have here. Okay. Is this from Alex Kidd, the Shinobi World?
I knew you'd choose that one.
You know what? I rode on a sausage roll swing recently. Is that a weird thing to say?
What? Sorry, what? I missed that.
I rode on a sausage roll swing recently. I'm gonna try and get the picture up as we're talking. But Alex Kidd asks, would you eat a Greg's steak bake or? I'm trying to work this out. Would eat a Greg's steak bake or alternative? Have a guess on alternative to steak bake with a knife and fork if you were a house guest and I asked you to. So if you went round to a house and they served you a Greg's steak bake, would you eat it with a knife and fork? Maybe it was
what I can say with that is if I ever have like a chicken, because I'm a chicken bake person, not a steak bake, but when I have that when I'm out, I will eat it with the packet. When I bring it home, I put it on a plate and use a knife and fork.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do. Because you're at home. It's luxurious. You go,
I respect that. I think
that's why I do that, yeah.
I have done that, and I've also... I've done it and put it on a bomb. I've put like a pasty
Sorry,
on a
sorry.
bomb. You done
Bomb?
it as well? I like a bomb.
What's a bomb?
Okay, what do you call it? A roll or something? What would you call like a bread roll? Like a bomb
Oh!
cake? What would you call it? Have you got a mad kind of southern
I
way
think,
of saying it?
yeah, we don't need bomb. I think we saw that when we went to Blackpool. It was like a bacon bomb, like a bacon sandwich.
What do
I
you
thought,
call it?
but
Do you just call it a sandwich?
bacon roll, bacon
Roll?
bap, a bacon bap maybe or something, or a bap.
I found my picture. I'm gonna try and put it in a minute. A
But
bacon
yeah,
bap?
so every time I do that,
You
yeah,
call it a bap?
I guess it must be the baps.
But the
I don't know.
baps.
The
So
baps.
would you eat it on? I'm saying bread basically. It's a bread roll thing. Would you eat
Right.
a pasty in a roll? Or was that weird for you?
Eat a pasty in a
In
roll?
Yeah, but a roll or a bread. Like you got two pieces of bread or a roll. Is
Yeah.
that weird to you, or is that fine? Like, are you putting a pasty on a sandwich, basically? Is that weird, or are you fine with that?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know why that's weird. Why is that weird?
Well, yeah. Well, because you got.
Go on, tell me why it's weird.
Well, because the outer layer of it, of the pasty,
As we're talking
the
about that,
crust and
I've got a
stuff, because
photo.
you really.
Oh no, the photo's not working. Wait.
It's Mumra again. It's Mumra sitting there.
It's me. Wait a minute. Let me get the photo. It'll all make sense when you see this.
What? Oh, Agreg's ain't got that. That's amazing.
The sausage roll swing. So you can have a sausage roll sitting on a sausage roll swing.
Could you stay on it, swinging to eat the sausage roll?
Yeah, you can.
The photo
You can sit there and just think about life. And I mean, it is a photo opportunity, which is the weirdest thing to ever say.
What does it say at the back? The writing.
It's Greg's and Primark. So it's in Primark.
Oh.
Do you have a Greg's in your Primark? We're not sponsored by Greg's, by the way. We've just watched Greg's for 20 minutes.
No. Well, saying that, I am wearing Greg's tracksuit bottoms.
This was not planned.
Primark.
Not planned at all. Unbelievable.
The chances. We
Anyway.
don't have that. Look,
you don't have that.
We got fancy when one of our Gregs actually could sit in that Greg's.
Oh yes, I call it a SIG, a sitting Greg's. That's what I call it, a SIG. Yeah, it is fancy. I think you have to pay extra, but the trick is just don't tell them you're sitting in. So, to take away. And then you
You say, take away. You go, yeah.
I prefer a takeaway cup anyway. That's what I tell myself, so I don't have to feel guilty. You know, and they didn't question me. It's like, oh, you must be going away. No, I didn't say that. I just said I want a takeaway cup. That's all I said.
Yeah. Didn't mean
I'm not breaking the law. I'm not breaking the law as if like one's going to arrest me. Anyway, I didn't answer that question. Will I use a knife and fork?
You didn't. No.
If someone offered you the pasty and a knife and fork was on the plate, I guess I would be encouraged to use it. And I probably would anyway, because I do that with pizza and stuff. If I got a knife and fork, I will eat a pizza.
I do that pizza as well. When we went for pizza that time, I used knife and fork straight away. And that
I feel it's a bit savage. I like not to do that, you know, just throw it and you go. But, you know, I'm all right with it. I'll do it. I'm not against it. But I'm at home. I'm going to use a knife and fork if it's there. Also, I have a dollop of tomato sauce, ketchup, or something like that as well. Because you're at home.
I have pepper and salt on mine.
There you go. You may as well. It's your prerogative. You can do what you want. My camera's gone a bit nuts there. Right. Oh. Thank you, everybody. That's the end of our podcast. If you want to leave us a comment, please do down below, and we'll add those to our list of comments to get through. You can also do it on Spotify, where I look at the comments on Spotify now. I know where they are. So we can see them, but put them on YouTube, because I've said this every week.
And 10 should be on there at some point, and the Switch one.
Is 10 on there? 10 is,
it's not on there.
10 should be on there. I'm sure I put 10 up there.
Only you can find out, I don't think, or it was the Switch one was on there. But
the Switch is not on there. The Switch one won't be on there because it's visual. Because the Switch one was completely visual. We were just looking at it on YouTube. You don't want to. You watch that one on the channel instead.
It would be better for that. Yeah.
Actually, watch that. Yeah. But thank you, and until next time, have a lovely bowl of cereal. Is that the West Coast? I've never said that before.
Have a bowl of cereal while using a knife and fork.
Put some ketchup in it and
pepper and salt.
Do it. See you later on. Bye bye.
While on your swing.
Bye. Oh God.